defeated Michigan 6-5 in 10 innings yesterday. Rutgers knocked off Indiana 5-2. 4 home runs in that game. The wind blowing out, typically a ballpark that you don't see many home runs in. Landon Mack threw 6 shutout innings for the Scarlet Knights. And then Nebraska, in a wild thriller last night, defeated Michigan State 5-4 in 10. Michigan State dropped the potential game-ending out in right field. Nebraska rallied to walk it off in 10 last night. Earlier today, UCLA defeated Illinois 8-6. The Bruins using 9 different pitchers in the game. Brock Chalowski hit a home run. They are off to the semifinals as the number 2 seed in this tournament. Oregon the 1 seed, UCLA the 2, Iowa the 3, and USC the 4. USC the top seed in Pool D. Washington takes the field. The 5th-seeded Huskies 29-26, 17-13 this year in the Big Ten. Penn State comes to the plate as the lower seed, as the 9 seed. They'll be the visiting team here in their Big Ten tournament opener. Here is the starting 9 today for second-year head coach Mike Gambino. Joe Jakonski leads it off. He's at first base. Paxton Kling in center field bats second. Batting third, it's the third baseman, Bryce Molinaro. Jesse Jakonski in left field bats fourth. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Ryan Weingartner. Matt Maloney, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth, is Matt Maloney, the DH. Batting 7th, the catcher, Nate Voss. Batting 8th, the second baseman, Derek Cease. And batting 9th, right fielder, Cole Mercado. That's Jakonski, Kling, Molinaro. Jakonski, Weingartner, Maloney, Voss, Cease, and Mercado for the Nittany Lions. On the mound for Washington, it's the senior right-hander, Max Banks, 6-2 with a 3.49 ERA. 10 starts this year, 56 2/3 innings pitched, 42 hits, 22 runs, all of those earned. He struck out 52 while walking 22, and opponents hitting just 208 against Banks this season. 6'4", 225-pound senior right-hander out of San Francisco, California, second-team All-Big Ten selection. Pitched the previous 3 seasons at Division III Chapman, but has been a really good find for Eddie Smith in his first year at the helm of the Huskies. So Penn State and Washington, after a rather lengthy delay because of the time of the first game, just about ready to get underway. Mostly sunny skies, a couple of clouds rolling through here. Temperatures in the mid-60s here today in Omaha, Nebraska. Typically hot and humid this time of year. Very, very pleasant afternoon it's become here in Omaha, but the wind again is blowing, and a pretty stiff breeze blowing straight out to center field. So finally, Joe Jakonski set to come to the plate here in the top of the first. Brian Tripp, great to be with you. Josh Eisenberg guiding the ship back in studio. Penn State and Washington finally going to get underway. Again, a Nittany Lion offense that has been so potent all year long, but without Jack Porter and Cole Wagner here for this Big Ten tournament game. Joe Jakonski leads it off, left-handed hitting first baseman here against the righty Max Banks. Banks kicks, and the first pitch on the way. Swung on, popped up, foul, and out of play towards the third base side, and we are underway at 2:55 local time here in Omaha. It's the first meeting between Penn State and Washington since 1923, just the second ever meeting between these two schools. Banks working out of the wind, and here's the 0-1. And it's a breaking ball down low to Joe Jakonski. Joe batting at .227 on the year, 14 doubles, 6 home runs, and 31 runs batted in. In the leadoff spot for the 4th consecutive game, slid up into the leadoff spot for last weekend's non-conference series against Xavier. 1-1's on the way, swung on, and that's yanked foul on the ground. Slowly hit up the first baseline. And it is 1-2 here on Joe Jakonski. Jakonski, Kling, and Molinaro for Penn State here in this visiting first. Washington now shifts 3 infielders around to the right side. Huskies a very good defensive team and a pitching staff that will make you beat them with the bats. 1-2, swung on and hammered foul back. It's the thing, how can you drive up the pitch count on the senior Banks, who really works deep consistently for Washington? It is a very good Washington bullpen as well. As Mike Gambino said pregame just moments ago, expects it to be a low-scoring game. 1-2, nobody out here, top of the first, and the pitch. Down low, good take by Joe Jakonski. He's reached safely in 20 consecutive games coming into the postseason. Senior playing for his career here the next 2 days in Omaha. He has a hit in 4 straight as he's back into the leadoff spot where he occupied that leadoff spot for much of last season, but had not let off until last weekend's series win against a good Xavier team. 2-2 from the big righty. Swinging and a miss. Struck him out. Buried one in and under the hands of Jakonski. He goes down on the breaking ball. He's retired for out number 1 here in the top of the first. It's the battery of Banks for Washington on the mound and Colton Bauer behind the plate. Kason Taggart at first base. Trevor Cole at second. Sam DiCarlo is at short, and Blake Wilson at third. The outfield of A.J. Guerrero, Malachi Knight, and Jackson Hotchkiss from left to right. Knight in center field, an all Big Ten defensive team selection. Now Paxton Kling is at the plate for Penn State. Penn State's leading hitter. Banks fires, and he delivers a fastball strike on the inside edge. Fastball will sit in the low to mid-90s for Banks. He's topped out at 95 on the gun this year, but really a steady diet of breaking balls and off-speed pitches here for the big right-hander. 0-1. One out there, empty the pitch. And there is a curveball that dives down low. And it's 1-1 here on the right-handed hitting junior center fielder Paxton Kling. 340-1. 60 runs scored, 69. Center fielder Paxton Kling. Paxton batting at 340 on the year. 60 runs scored, 69 hits. He's leading Penn State in all of those categories. Also hit a bomb against Xavier, his Parlo of the year, to tie Bryce Molinaro for the team lead. Swing at the 1-1, and it's on the 1-out air, and it's misplayed on a backhand by DiCarlo. That was just smoked over to round and stop. Man, he can really hit the ball hard, and DiCarlo, who was shifted over towards the hole with 3 infielders on the left side, went to pick it from a knee on a backhand, and that's just not a play you're going to make against Paxton Kling. And it is a Washington team that for a majority of the year has played, and they're going to rule that a single for Paxton. Penn State will certainly take it, but it is a Washington team to keep in mind that played a majority of the year on turf. They have not played a lot of grass games. Kling to keep in mind, again, the scoring on that officially a lot of grass for Kling. So a 1-out base hit for Kling left. And now Bryce Molinaro, one of the heroes of last year's tournament, at the plate. Another throw to first by Banks, and Kling is back. Washington has been pretty good this year at controlling the running game. Obviously, Penn State uses that running game as much as any team nationally. Penn State, a program record this year with 106 stolen bases. Kling at first, 1 out. The first pitch to Molinaro is a breaking ball down low. The key here against Banks, you know you're going to see breaking pitches and off-speed pitches in a variety of counts. It really doesn't matter for Banks. But how can you get him to elevate any of that stuff that you can drive it? Out of the stretch, holds at the chest, 1-0. Down and away at the breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes here on Bryce Molinaro. Bryce hitting at .271 on the year. 58 hits, 13 home runs, and 58 runs batted in. 2-0. The righty's pitch is a fastball strike on the inside edge. And the count is 2-1 here on Bryce Molinaro. Kling at first, Molinaro at the plate, no score. Top of the first. A must-win game for Penn State. Throw to first, and Kling's back ahead of a late tag from Taggart, the first baseman. Second baseman Cole, a step or two to his right. He's playing up the middle a bit here now. Shortstop DiCarlo at double play depth. Third baseman Wilson way off the line to the pool side here against Bryce. Top of the first, just underway. And the 2-1. Down and away at the breaking ball, and another good take by Bryce Molinaro. That has been a pitch that has given him some fits this year. Bryce certainly better down the stretch. He has a hit in 9 of his last 11. And man, when he squares it up, that ball really flies. He leads the team in exit velocity on contact. 3-1, swing and a miss. Came up and in with the fastball, and the count is 3-2. Well, Molinaro leads the team in strikeouts this year, but let's see if they start Paxton Kling here with 1 out. No score, top of the first, the stretch from Banks. Throws to first, and Kling scampers back in, ahead of the tag from Taggart. Penn State 31-22 this year, their most victories since 2011. a year in which they won 32 games. Here is the payoff, and it is upstairs. Molinaro takes a close pitch, and he works the walk. Back-to-back base runners for Penn State here with one out here in this first, and so important to strike early against this Washington team. I think it's a Penn State offense that really works on momentum. Pitch did not miss by much to Molinaro. If they can get some momentum going here and use that long ball with that wind, Penn State 77 home runs on the year. Huskies are not equipped offensively to come from behind, especially the way Penn State has its pitching set up. 2 on, 1 out. Jesse Jakonski at the dish. Banks delivers and misses down and away with the breaking ball. And so far they are just spitting on that breaking pitch, which is certainly a part of their game plan at the plate. Jakonski batting at 306 here, joining his brother Joe in the Penn State lineup this year, transferring in from Hartford Community College. 14 doubles, 11 home runs, and 52 runs batted in. 1 out, 2 on. Banks lifts the leg, turns, and chases Kling back to second. Kling ripped a 1-out single to left. That went off the glove of the shortstop. Molinaro worked a 1-out walk. They are not holding Molinaro at first. The first baseman, Taggart, way off the line and behind the runner. He's got a monster lead. 1-0, swinging a ball, ripped into left. It's a base hit. Kling gets the green light around third. He will score without a throw, and it is 1-0. Penn State on the RBI single to left by Jesse Jakonski. You could not draw up a better start here to this Big Ten tournament for the Nittany Lions. And Penn State, in the blink of an eye, has a 1-0 lead. And again, Jakonski works himself into a hitter's count against a guy who typically just pounds the strike zone. And he got a pitch himself into a belt-high middle third of the strike zone from the middle of the plate in. So I'd say inner thigh, middle rip into of the left. And middle of the plate in, so I'd say inner third of the plate to turn it now right into left. And Penn State already with a 1-0 lead. Now Ryan Weingartner up. 2 on and 1 out, 1 across. First pitch third. Right-handed hitting junior shortstop.
You're listening to the Penn State Sports Network. Your broadcast will begin 1 minute from the sound of this tone. We will go silent at 30 seconds.
At first, and the 0-1 fastball nibbling at the outside edge, just missed off the plate. Again, Penn State junior lefty Ryan DeSanto gets the ball here today. Nittany Lions must win. They must go 2-0 in Pool D to extend their season. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled straight back with some steam into the second deck here at Charles Schwab Field. 1-2 on Ryan Weingartner, who has slid down to the 5th spot in the lineup here. Creates a little more balance for that Penn State lineup. Matt Maloney, who had a terrific weekend with 8 hits in a dozen at-bats against Xavier Batts' 6th as a left-handed hitter on deck. 1 out, 2 on, 1 across. Banks peers to second, now is 1-2. And he missed up and away with the fastball. That's a great take by Weingartner, who is typically susceptible to that fastball. They obviously know the scouting report on Ryan, a steady diet of fastballs. Here to the shortstop. Molinaro at second, Jesse Jakonski, who had the RBI singles at first, to 2-2. Swung on, and that is smoked foul back. They are seeing the ball well here against Max Banks, a second-team all-conference selection here in this top of the first, and they are starting to drive his pitch count up already. There already is some throwing in the Washington bullpen, with both these teams playing a must-win game here. Banks the stretch. 2 on, 1 out. Looks to second, the 2-2. Swinging and a miss, and Weingartner is down on strikes as he chases what was a high breaking ball. And that is out number 2. So a couple of strikeouts here, sandwiched between, though, 3 consecutive base runners and a Penn State run, and now it is Matt Maloney looking to add to a 1-0 lead here in the first. Maloney pounds the bat head against the plate. Left-handed hitting DH with 2 on and 2 outs. Banks looks to second, kicks the leg, comes home. Maloney swings and yanks it foul up the first base side. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Penn State Sports Network. Brian Tripp, great to be with you here from Omaha, Nebraska for this 2025 Big Ten tournament. Penn State a 1-0 lead and threatening for more here in the first. Pitch to Matt Maloney outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Paxton Kling with a 1-out single to left. Bryce Molinaro followed up with a 1-out walk, and then Jesse Jakonski drove home Kling with an RBI single to left himself. Jakonski's at first. Molinaro is at second with 2 outs now. 1-1, and the pitch to Maloney. Swung on and fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt coming off that huge series, as I mentioned, against Xavier. He was 8 for 12 with 2 runs, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, homering in each of his last 2 games of the regular season. Banks with the 1-2. Swinging a foul. Tip Maloney stays alive. Penn State really running up Banks' pitch count here in this first already. Banks already at 27 pitches. That is so critical against a starter like Banks. Again, Washington already action in their bullpen beyond the fence in left. Jackson Gore, a sophomore righty, getting ready to go. 2 on, 2 outs, 1 run across. 1-2, swing and a miss, and Maloney is down on strikes. So Banks strikes out the side, but not before Penn State tallies a run here in the top of the first. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. The score, Penn State 1, Washington coming to bat through a half inning here on the Penn State Sports Network.
You know how you explode with excitement when the Nittany Lions score? The feeling is incredible. I'm Montica from Confers Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's like that for her when she sees your gift from Confers Jewelers. Her breath almost stops. The clock winds down as she unwraps it. It's the final play of the game. She opens it, sees her new diamond, and jumps in your arms. You did it! Confers Jewelers in Bellefonte. The feeling is incredible.
Thompson Creek Window Company is an official partner of Penn State Athletics. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install. So you won't pay the middleman markup. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their factory. Save 50% right now during Thompson Creek Window Fest. Buy 1 window, get one 50% off. Plus special finance options. Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
Penn State with a 1-0 lead here in the 9-5 matchup of Pool D in this Big Ten tournament. Penn State leads at 1-0 heading to the bottom of the first. Here's the lineup for Washington first-year head coach Eddie Smith. Kaysen Taggart, the first baseman, leads it off. A.J. Guerrero out in left field, bats second. Batting third, the shortstop, Sam DiCarlo. Braden Terry, the DH, bats fourth. Batting fifth, center fielder Malachi Knight. Colton Bauer, the catcher, bats sixth. Batting seventh, right fielder Jackson Hotchkiss. Batting eighth, the second baseman Trevor Cole. And batting ninth, third baseman Blake Wilson. That's Taggart, Guerrero, DiCarlo, Terry, Knight, Bauer, Hotchkiss, Cole, and Wilson for the Huskies. On the mound for Penn State, junior lefty Ryan DeSanto, 7-2 with a 4.30 ERA, making his 15th start this year. The ace has 67 innings under his belt, 49 hits, 34 runs, 32 of those earned. He has struck out 69 while walking 27, and opponents are batting .204 on the year against the 6'4", 218-pound junior left-hander out of Frederick, Maryland. DeSanto worked just 2 innings last Thursday by design to set him up with rest to pitch in this game here today. Penn State not knowing if it would open this tournament either yesterday on Tuesday or here on this Wednesday. Kaysen Taggart leads it off against the lefty, and the first pitch is a fastball away to Taggart. As I mentioned in the long open, in the long pregame today, Washington hitting just .201 against left-handed pitching this year. By far and away the lowest mark in the Big Ten and one of the lower marks nationally. So lefty with the 1-0. This is down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. DeSanto will need to throw strikes, though, against this Washington lineup. It's not a lineup that's really going to pound the ball all over the ballpark. Taggart particularly good at getting on base out of the leadoff spot. 2-0. Fastball strike. Zips across the outside corner. And it's 2-1 here on Taggart. Penn State striking for 1 in the top of the first. Let's see how long they can ride that lead. Taggart, senior out of Everett, Washington, one of 5 seniors in the Washington starting 9 today. Here's the 2-1, and he takes a called strike on the outside edge. DeSanto comes back to even the count at 2-2. He's reached in 29 straight games. He moved to the leadoff spot on April 25th against Northwestern, and has an on-base percentage of over .450 in Big Ten play. 2-2, though, here on the Washington leadoff man. The lefty's pitch is just off the plate outside, missed with the fastball. Taggart, Guerrero, and DiCarlo here in this first for Washington. Guerrero, probably their best offensive player, is the man who bats second and is on deck. Shift is on to the right side here. Weingartner, the shortstop, right up the middle. Here's the payoff. Swung on and hit the other way in the air, deep down the left field line. That's slicing away and foul and into the seats. For those unfamiliar, a ton of foul ground here at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. Basically all the way down until about the last 10% of the right and left field lines. Copious amount of foul ground. So a lot of exciting plays that you often see, and a lot of balls that would be out of play at Penn State's home ballpark will be playable in foul territory near each the first and third base dugouts. 1-0 Penn State here, last of the first. 3-2 on the Washington leadoff man. DeSanto bends at the waist. He has his sign. Ready? And here is the payoff. Swung on and ripped on a hop to first. Joe Jakonski flags it down and races to the bag to get Taggart for out number 1. And that is what Joe Jakonski has done all season long since taking over at first base. You will not find a better defensive first baseman right now than Joe Jakonski, who has made highlight reel after highlight reel play. And that ball was smoked on a hop just to Joe's left over there at first. And he made it look rather easy to retire Taggart. Big first out here with Penn State scoring in the first. Don't need to give it right back, and DeSanto came back in that count to get Taggart. Now Guerrero is up in the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that's in for a strike over the inner third. So he starts him with the curveball here. Guerrero, third all-time in Washington's program history with 41 career home runs. He has 8 this year and a team-leading 35 RBIs. And the 0-1 in for a called strike on the inside corner. And quickly ahead of Guerrero, 0-2. He's batting at .333 with 62 hits, 15 doubles, 8 homers. And as I said, 35 runs batted in. One out there empty. DeSanto with the 0-2. Fastball on the inside corner. Got him looking. Called strike 3. And Guerrero retired for out number 2. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Sam DiCarlo. Man, if Penn State could get right back to the plate here in the second, they'll have Voss, Cease, and Mercado, 7, 8, and 9. Get right back out there against Banks, who struck out 3 but did allow a run in the top of the first, and it was an expensive first for Banks. I asked Mike Gambino, what's the plan here today? He said if we can get 6 or 7 out of DeSanto, then go loosely steal, they would be really happy. Logan Olson will get the ball in Game 2 of this tournament. Hopefully a meaningful game for Penn State tomorrow afternoon. First pitch in for a strike to Sam DiCarlo. 2 quick outs here in the last of the first. Penn State in front 1-0. That's the weird thing about this tournament. You're 2 wins from a semifinal, but you're 1 loss away from your season if you're not the top seed from being over. The pitch swung on and belted foul deep down the right field side. And DeSanto quickly works ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes. So after he fell behind Taggart 2-0, he has done nothing but pound the strike zone. They're straight away defensively in the outfield. Cease a step or 2, the second baseman up the middle. The lefty with the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and skied out to right. Cole Mercado into the alleyway. A couple of steps to his right. Drifts over, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. A 1-2-3 first for Ryan DeSanto. And after one, starting to feel a little like 2024 already. Penn State ahead 1-0 here in the Big Ten tournament. We'll be right back on the Penn State Sports Network.
Looking for the perfect place to stay when cheering on the Nittany Lions? Look no further than Lion Country Lodging, the preferred hotel partner of Penn State Athletics. Enjoy modern comforts, exceptional service, plus when you book direct at lioncountrylodging.com, you save big. Whether it's game day or a getaway, Lion Country Lodging is your home in Happy Valley. Book now at lioncountrylodging.com.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 5 is proud to continue its support for Penn State athletics. Our members go to work safely every day to build the projects that are constantly increasing in demand. Whether it's watching a game, working from home, or just knowing the lights will come on when you flick the switch, you can be confident that the members of IBEW Local 5 are hard at work behind the scenes. Call us at 412-432-1400 or visit IBEW5.org.
The Penn State Department of Intercollegiate Athletics would like to recognize the Nittany Lions All-Conference corporate partners: Bud Light, Lurch RV, MI Windows and Doors, Pam Health, Penn State Bookstore, Pennsylvania Lottery, Planet Fitness, SRS Distribution, Utz, and Wyndham Hotels. Thanks to all of our all-conference corporate partners for their support of Penn State athletics. In a game in which runs may be at a premium, Penn State strikes first and jumps out to a 1-0 lead on fifth-seeded Washington. It looked like yesterday every game would be an upset, but then Nebraska stole one late against Michigan State that did use its ace Joseph Jerwa in that game. Nebraska rallied, and then they grasped victory from the jaws of defeat with the final out dropped in right. Nate Voss leads it off here in the top of the second. First pitch in for a strike from Max Banks, who needed an uncharacteristic 28 pitches to navigate through that first. Shifts on to the left side here. Three infielders to the left of second. And the 0-1 to Voss. It is a breaking ball, down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Nate, having a really good junior season after transferring in from Iowa Western Community College just across the river over in Iowa. And the pitch swung on and skied high in the air out to deep right. Hotchkiss gets turned around a bit, a couple of steps from the track. He'll have room to make the play. And Voss retired for out number 1. Penn State arrived here in Omaha on Monday, then practiced yesterday at Iowa Western Community College, just across the river over in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Both Voss and Logan Olson played last year for the Reavers. Now Derek Cease is up, 1 out here in the top of the second. 1-0 Penn State. Banks winds, delivers. Cease squares the bunt, pulls back and takes a strike. That grabs the attention of Wilson, the third baseman. He was playing back. Well, he's backing back up again. Taggart at first, also way back. The bunt is available there for Derek Cease. Got off to a great start when taking over the second base job, 0-1. And Banks misses high to Cease, one of the seniors, at 5'8", 150 out of Plymouth, Pennsylvania. Scorching hot when he won that starting job at second, but now hitless in his last 5 games. 1 out there empty. And the 1-1 dives down and away. Derek, one thing for sure, though, he will work terrific at-bats at a career-high 4 hits in the Saturday game of the Maryland series, Penn State's penultimate Big Ten series. Penn State then went on to win 2 of 3 at Rutgers and then took 2 of 3 against Xavier at home last weekend. 2-1, he does bunt up the third base line. It was available, but he bunts it foul. And the count is 2-2 here on Cease. 1 down here in the top of the second. Penn State leads Washington 1-0. Cease went 7 for 11 in the Maryland series, and after that series, really, who would be the second baseman was no longer in question. Patrick Graham got the first crack at it after they moved Joe Jakonski from second to first when Cole Wagner went out. The wind and the 2-2 from Banks. And it skips on in. Penn State, they really have done their job scouting here against Banks. They continue to spit on that breaking ball down in the dirt. And now it is 3-2. Banks winds. And the righty's pitch. Swung on and smoked foul back. They're also in 2-strike counts. They're fouling some good pitches off here against Banks. I know he struck out the side in the first after allowing a run, but still, these are small things. Mike Gambino talked pregame about all the small things adding up. We talked about it more specifically 90 feet on the base paths. They're doing it right here at the plate. Payoff again. Cease takes up and away, and he works the walk. A terrific at-bat by Derek Cease. He's a one-out base runner here in this second, and it also helps Penn State turn its lineup over. The more you can get Kling, Molinaro, and Jesse Jaconski to the plate, the better. It is certainly a lineup, and look, they've gotten guys like Cease to rise to the occasion, Voss to rise to the occasion, Matt Maloney, but without Wagner and Porter, you do miss their bats in the middle of that lineup, and they will lean heavily. Sometimes there's an unsung hero in a tournament like this, but they will lean heavily on Kling, Molinaro, and Jesse Jaconski. One out for Cole Mercado. Gets the start finally again for Penn State. Sees jumping off first, and he's out. He's picked off first base, trying to extend his lead, and that's out number 2. He was caught leaning, just trying to jump to his right off the bag. Mid-step, had to hurry his way back, and he was picked off. And Penn State, what has been a problem throughout the year has been giving away some outs on the bases. You cannot give freebies to this Washington team because they won't give many freebies to you. 2 outs now, and Mercado swings and slashes it foul into the camera well on the third base side. The ball's in 1 strike here on Mercado. Cole making his 36th start of the year. His 29 hits and 123 at-bats. He has been limited because of a nagging arm injury. 0-1. Swings and lifts it foul, and it will land on the warning track down the left field line. No play. No balls, 2 strikes. He looks healthier swinging right here in this at-bat. But because of, look, he's a guy that is a really tough guy to strike out, put the ball in play typically. But that injury has really impacted him at the plate this year, his first year with Penn State after spending the last 2 years at Boston College and now reuniting with Mike Gambino. 2 outs, they're empty, and the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He's one of the first to go after that breaking ball down in the dirt. He's down on strikes, and that quickly ends the inning. Already the 4th strikeout for Washington starter Max Banks. Penn State, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're through 1.5. Penn State 1, Washington nothing here in this Big Ten tournament Pool D opening game. Back after this on the Penn State Sports Network.
Athletes push boundaries, defy odds, and strive for greatness. At Penn State Health, we share that drive. We tackle medicine's toughest challenges, leading to breakthrough treatments and even cures. Our researchers are passionate and push the limits, like the discovery of a pediatric cancer treatment that led to an FDA-approved drug, drawing patients globally to central Pennsylvania. Penn State Health, driven for you.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Shield. Official partner of Penn State Athletics.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network. Presented by PepsiCo.
Bottom of the second, Penn State leads Washington 1-0 here in this first of 2 in the Big Ten tournament. You're guaranteed to, but it is not guaranteed that both are meaningful. You need to win the first to make the game tomorrow against USC meaningful. The stakes really the same for both Penn State and Washington. Neither of these teams will be an at-large team for an NCAA regional. Right now, it looks like the Big Ten could get just 3 teams into a regional. Oregon, UCLA, and USC. Iowa, despite their tremendous regular season, a very weak non-conference schedule. We'll have them on the outside looking in. Check swing foul here for Braden Terry, who starts the second for Washington after Ryan DeSanto, Penn State's left-handed ace, needed just 13 pitches to work through the first. 1-0 Nittany Lions in front. 4, 5, and 6 for Washington here in this second. I could spend the entire broadcast trying to explain this new tournament format. 0-1. And Terry takes outside. Terry, a left-handed hitter, actually batting .326 this year against lefties. What's unique, Washington, as I said, hitting just .201 against lefties. They only have 2 lefties in their lineup. Their best batter against left-handed pitching is Terry, who is a lefty at the plate. 1-1, swung on and skied, foul out of play. And it's 1-2. And, you know, I started to piece through it. I'm like, well, is it low sample size? How is a Washington team that's a team that's 29-26 and was 17-13 in the Big Ten, a pretty competitive conference this year? How are they hitting just .201 against lefties? And it's a pretty big sample size. DeSanto kicks and the 1-2. Swung on, popped up, out shallow left. Back goes Molinaro. Weingartner back as well. It's going to be the shortstop. He'll make the call on the catch, and Terry retired for out number 1. 4 up, 4 down so far to start for Ryan DeSanto. And what has helped Ryan here is he is pounding the strike zone, and he is throwing strikes. Number 1, he's locating his fastball incredibly well on both the inside and outside edges, but he's throwing his breaking stuff and his secondary stuff for strikes. Malachi Knight now at the plate for Washington. Right-handed hitting center fielder for the Huskies, who's batting at .250 on the year. 4 homers and 27 runs batted in. Big hack and a miss to start this at-bat from Knight as he went after a fastball down and away. May have been off the outside edge. Knight, highly touted prospect coming out of high school, one of the top 20 prospects in the country. Started his career at UCLA. 0-1. It's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases empty. Last of the second. Penn State already ahead 1-0. Knight, a senior out of Marysville, Washington, returning back to his home state after being a starter the last 2 years with UCLA. 1-1. And DeSanto misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Knight riding a very modest 4-game hitting streak into this tournament. Just 4 hits in a dozen at-bats during that stretch. Here's the 2-1. Down and in. And it is 3-1 on the 6'3", 205-pound senior center fielder. First 3-1 count of the day for DeSanto. Works from the third base side of the rubber. 3-1 fastball on the inside corner, and he spots it terrifically for a called strike. 3-2. Knight, despite that 4-game hitting streak, has just a hit in 5 of his last 12 starts, however. So it's not like he's been on a tear. Here's the payoff. Swung on, and that's fouled straight back with some heat on it. Into the seats. It's nice to see a bit of a crowd starting to gather behind home plate, although I think many of those down there are scouts watching this game today. A couple of schools separated by more than 2,500 miles playing here in Omaha. 3-2. Swung on and hit in the air out to center. Paxton Kling backpedals. Plenty of room here at Charles Schwab Field to make the catch with 2 hands up near the bill of his cap for out number 2. Good at bat there by Knight. Maybe the best today against DeSanto, but still retired. 5 up, 5 down for Artie. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, Colton Bauer comes up. 1-0 Penn State. Again, the other team in this pool or pod, whatever you want to call it, is USC, which is just 2-5 over its last 7 coming into this tournament. In fact, Washington took 2 of 3 against USC last weekend. Here is Bauer, right-handed hitting catcher. First pitch inside, and he hits Bauer with the breaking ball. It's the first base runner today for Washington. And now he'll deal with Jackson Hotchkiss, the freshman right fielder. Hotchkiss this year batting at .252 with 10 doubles, 4 homers, and 23 runs batted in. Has a pretty keen eye as a freshman, has walked 28 times. Don't want to see guys start to get on here. Now, Bauer, the catcher at first, doesn't run a ton, but they will run. UCLA or Washington can really put some pressure on you with their base running. First pitch misses to Hotchkiss here. I mentioned that he's batting at .252, but like many in this lineup, he's hitting just 116 against left-handed pitching, 5 for 43, 1-0. A little high and tight with the fastball. It's 2-0. Out of the stretch, DeSanto holds at the belly, kicks, 2-0 pitch. Down and away, and all of a sudden, command eluding DeSanto here. Trevor Cole, the second baseman, on deck. He has struggled against lefties, as has Wilson. And the bottom of the lineup, not all that potent here for Washington. 2 outs men on first 3-0. Swan and Sky, right side. Long run, Mercado. Mercado along the line. It's a fair ball. He has plenty of room. He makes a catch. It was not hit deep, and Hotchkiss retired. He got a 3-0 green light there. And Mercado makes the catch to end the inning, and he'll take that right back with him into the first base dugout. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We're through 2. Penn State 1, Washington nothing. Here on the Penn State Sports Network.
24/7, get the gear at PennStateClothes.com.
Gear up for Penn State football at the Family Clothesline in State College. We've got it all for fall, including officially licensed Penn State clothing and merchandise from Lululemon, Nike, and more. Extended store hours on home football weekends. Shop PennStateClothes.com and get free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. We are
the Family Clothesline.
If you're an electrical contractor, general contractor, or developer considering who to hire on your next project, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 5 is ready to supply you with the best trained, most qualified, drug-free, and OSHA-compliant electricians and apprentices in the industry. Our code of excellence guarantees it. So for your next electrical project, insist on the team that will make it a winner. Call us at 412-432-1400 or visit ibw5.org.
Welcome back here to Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. Penn State leading Washington by a 1-0 score, heading into the top of the third inning, and the top of the Penn State lineup. Joe Jakonski, Paxton Kling, Bryce Molinaro set to come to the plate here for the Nittany Lions against Washington right-hander Max Banks. Banks having a terrific year for Washington. The team has won 8 of his last 9 starts, 7th in the Big Ten in ERA at the end of the regular year, 10th in WHIP, and he's gone 6 or more innings in 7 of his 8 starts since returning after missing just a couple of games early in March. He has been an innings eater and really effective for the Huskies. Starts Joe Jakonski with a fastball strike on the outside corner. Struck out Jakonski back to lead off the game back in the top of the first. All right, he winds and the 0-1. Jakonski swings and pops it up, foul ground third base side. This will be playable for Wilson, drifting and backpedaling as it gets up into a gust of wind. Third baseman makes the catch. Jakonski retired, and he is out number 1. I asked Joe yesterday during batting practice, I said, well, what's the feeling coming into a Big Ten tournament? He said, this group, he loves this group. He said, last year you just knew when you got here that they were going to win. And talking from yesterday to today with some more of the players and the coaches, they kind of exude that same confidence. And it's the way I think that they are wired, that Mike Gambino has wired them, as Paxton Kling is up now. 1 out there empty, in the first pitch, breaking ball low to Kling. Paxton singled and scored back in the first. Kling won a national championship on this field 2 years ago with LSU. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball this time in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Hitting at .343 this year, 13 homers, 53 runs batted in, and 61 runs scored. Having just a great season, Paxton Kling. 1-1 flies. High and tight. So he has to bend out of the way of the fastball. He's also been hit by a pitch in 3 straight games. He now has a 12-game hitting streak. He's reached in 15 straight. First team All Big Ten selection this year, Kling. He is tremendous. 2-1. Swung on and hit the other way on a line, but right at the first baseman, Taggart. As he hit it off the end of the bat, lines out to first. 2 quick outs here in this third for Max Banks after they had him on the ropes in that first, and Washington already had a reliever up and throwing. As I mentioned, Kling, first team All-Big Ten and an All-Big Ten defensive team selection. He is just Penn State's 17th first-team All-Big Ten selection and just the second since 2012. Matt Wood the other during that span. And, man, that is quite the accomplishment now in a 17-team conference. 2 outs for Bryce Molinaro, who takes a fastball low. Bryce walked back in the first. 2 outs, they're empty. Top of the third, 1-0. 9th-seeded Penn State leads 5th-seeded Washington. Banks out of the wind, straightens the leg, kicks it now, and is 1-0. Swung on and chopped slowly up the third base line. It skips, and it's a foul ball. It is a foul ball, as some of the Washington fans are applauding. And the count 1-1 here on Molinaro, who had a hit in all 4 games of last year's tournament, the biggest, the grand slam to rally Penn State in Game 2 in their 9-5 win over 4th-seeded Michigan. Molinaro was 6 for 16 in the tournament with 5 RBIs, a couple of doubles, and, of course, that grand slam. Making the long walk back to the plate. Penn State beat Illinois, the top seed, 8-4 in Game 1, then knocked off Michigan in back-to-back games to reach the Big Ten championship, 9-5 and 7-6. They led in every game, but then had to rally in several. They have a 1-0 lead here. Top of the third, and the pitch. Fastball at the knees. It's strike, and it's 1-2. That ball gets on you quick, too, with that 6'4" frame from Banks. And it's got some movement to it. So he has that vertical plane in his favor. 1-2 here on Molinaro. 2 outs. The righty kicks and comes home. Molinaro lays off the breaking ball low. He's picking it up well here. That curveball that Banks will go to typically only goes to that curveball in a 2-strike count. Also throws a slider and a changeup. 2-2. The wind of the pitch. Swinging a foul tip caught by Bauer, the catcher, as Molinaro chases a slider diving down and away. He's down on strikes. And it's a 1-2-3 third for Banks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 2.5. Penn State 1, Washington nothing here on the Penn State Sports Network.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost, so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thompson Creek Window Company is an official partner of Penn State Athletics. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install. So you won't pay the middleman markup. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their factory. Save 50% right now during Thompson Creek Window Fest. Buy one window, get one 50% off. Plus special finance options. Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network. Presented by PepsiCo.
As anticipated, it looks like we have a pitcher's duel brewing here between Penn State's Ryan DeSanto and Washington's Max Banks. Penn State, the 9 seed, taking on 5th-seeded Washington here in this Big Ten tournament. Pool D, the first game of Pool D. The winner of this game still has an opportunity to advance to the semifinals. The loser of this game will play a meaningless game against USC to wrap up the 2025 season. Penn State and USC set for a 3 o'clock Eastern first pitch tomorrow, but there is some wet weather forecasted here for Friday, so that schedule tomorrow may be a bit in flux. Trevor Cole, Blake Wilson, and then Kaysen Taggart, 8-9-1 for Washington here in this third against Ryan DeSanto, who's needed just 29 pitches to work through the first 2 innings. Has only hit a batter, has not allowed a hit. The first pitch in for a strike to the right-handed hitting second baseman Cole. First baseman Jakonski way off the line the other way. He's in line with the bag. Sees the second baseman playing up the middle. 0-1. DeSanto delivers and misses high and away with fastball. Cole batting at .259 here in his senior season. 22 runs scored, 9 doubles, a couple of triples, 2 homers, and 32 runs batted in for the Diamond Dogs. 1-1. DeSanto fires. Swung on and fouled back. First base side out of play into the second deck. That might have woke a few Husker fans up here in the second deck up from their slumber. Nebraska won't play again until later in the week. 1-2. Swung on and that's belted foul and out of play. Down the right field side. Nebraska takes on Oregon Friday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern in the 8-1 game in Pool A that will determine the winner of Pool A. 1-2. DeSanto delivers again. Fastball up and away. 2-2. In Pool B, UCLA already advancing to the semifinals, defeating Illinois 8-6 earlier today in a marathon affair. In Pool C, Rutgers takes on Iowa tonight to determine who goes to the semis. The pitch swung on, bounced back to DeSanto. A one-hop. He made a terrific play, turning in front of his rubber, and he flags it down belt high, jogs towards first, and then tosses to retire Cole for out number 1 on a comebacker to the mound. DeSanto with cat-like reflexes out there, just had to quickly adjust, and the ball ends up in his mitt as it was hit hard on a one-hopper back to the mound. And Ryan DeSanto reaching across his body to make that play, twisting just in front of the rubber to get Cole. Now that brings up Blake Wilson, the 9-man in the lineup. DeSanto's pitch, down and in. Wilson, the right-handed hitting third baseman, also batting just .148 against left-handed hitters. I've never seen, with so many right-handed hitters in a lineup, such a wide disparity in their splits. 1 ball, no strikes. DeSanto delivers. And RD misses low with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here, last of the third. Penn State up 1-0. In a must-win game for the Nittany Lions season. Would set up a duel with USC tomorrow. Here's the 2-0. Down low. Cannot walk the 9-man here. The top of the Washington order is pretty good. Taggart, Guerrero, DiCarlo, Terry, and Knight. Those are the bats that really scare you here for Washington. 3-0. Corners are up. Here's the pitch. And it's in for a strike. Came back 3-0 breaking ball. Again, this is... DeSanto's been tremendous this year. If there's one flaw in his game, sometimes he just gets erratic at times and falls behind and then can't come back. Here's the 3-1. Down and in. And he walked Wilson. Look, no pitcher is going to be perfect. But this is a lineup you just cannot give walks and free bases to. Otherwise, they will beat you, but if they are forced to beat you with the bat, they are not. It is not a good Washington lineup. Washington hit just .237 in Big Ten play. Their proficiency is on the mound, fielding, and on the bases. So you don't want to give them base runners. Now the top of the order, Taggart with the potential tying run on first here in the last of the third. DeSanto out of the stretch, holds at the chest. Looks there, steps and fires, and chases Wilson back to the bag. He's back without a tag. Wilson has 9 stolen bases in a dozen attempts this year. He's one of 5 players in the Washington lineup with at least 8 stolen bases. Shifts on to the pool side. Shortstop Weingartner right up the middle. Sees out into shallow right. Here's the pitch to Taggart. And it's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. You can hear the energy in both the Penn State and Washington dugouts. Nothing like postseason baseball. This game, massive implications for each of these two teams. They're straight away in the outfield. 1-0's on the way. Up high. 2 balls and no strikes. DeSanto had been so efficient and economical to start. Got Cole to bounce back to DeSanto himself to start the inning, but then walked the 9-man Wilson. And now behind Taggart, 2-0. 1 out man on first, 2-0 pitch. Down and away. And now it is 3-0. He walks off the base of the mound, comes back, swipes his foot against the top of the rubber. He works from the first base side here at the left-handed hitting first baseman up. 3-0 right down the chute and called a strike. Kellen Levy, by the way, has the balls and strikes today. He's the home plate umpire. Josh Shepish at first. Grady Smith out at second. And Dave Condon around at third. 3-1. DeSanto out of the stretch. Kicks and throws to first and forces Wilson to scurry back in. There's no tag. Taggart hitting at .345 for Washington. 5 homers, 33 runs scored, and 30 runs batted in. Can DeSanto come all the way back? The lefty's 3-1. On the outside corner and called a strike. Good fastball that time from DeSanto. He snaps at the baseball as he gets it back from Voss, his battery mate. Let's see if they start Wilson from first here. Taggart does not strike out a ton. DeSanto comes home, the pitch. Swung on and missed. Well, he struck out here, and the runner did not go. And DeSanto dials up his second strikeout, and he comes back from down 3-0 to strike out Taggart for out number 2 here in the inning. That is a great recovery by Ryan DeSanto. Sometimes he is at his best when he really has to buckle down with his back against the wall, and I think that's what has scouts salivating about what he could do at the next level. If this is, and they have the runner picked off. Jaconski throws to second, the tag by Cease, out at second base. Wilson picked off by DeSanto, and he escapes that inning rather easily. He also has scouts salivating over a move like that. That was a terrific move by DeSanto. Wilson was off on first movement, and that ends the inning for Penn State here defensively. No runs, no hits, no errors.
24 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Thompson Creek Window Company is an official partner of Penn State Athletics. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install. So you won't pay the middleman markup. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their factory. Save 50% right now during Thompson Creek Window Fest. Buy one window, get one 50% off. Plus special finance options. Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
Ryan DeSanto goes back to work against 2, 3, and 4 in the Washington lineup here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Penn State. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification, 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Penn State Sports Network. Bottom of the 4th, Penn State in front, 1-0. AJ Guerrero, leading hitter of the year. I think the best hitter in this Washington lineup, gets us started. Struck out his first time up against DeSanto, one of 2 strikeouts for RD today. He swings and lines it out to right. Mercado breaks in. He dives, and he's unable to make the catch. Mercado made a great recovery effort there, accelerating, diving head first, but Guerrero lines it the other way to right. And he has the first hit of the day for Washington. He's a leadoff base runner here in this bottom of the 4th. As I said, I feel like he is the best hitter in this lineup. 13 All Big Ten selection this year. Led off for much of the year, then moved to the 2-hole at the start of that Northwestern series, swapping places with Taggart. Last 2 years, he's been honorable mention All Pac-12. So he is on here for Sam DiCarlo. Third baseman Molinaro up, and the first pitch from DeSanto, a breaking ball high. So Washington now threatens here in this 4th, looking to tie a 1-0 ball game. Team leading 63rd hit of the year for Guerrero. He has 5 stolen bases in 9 attempts. Middle infield, double play depth. Jaconski holds him. And the 1-0 is a fastball strike over the outer third here to DiCarlo. DeCarlo flied out to right his first time up today. He's batting at .289 on the year. 40 runs scored, 8 home runs, and 23 runs batted in. The only Husky to start every game this year. The kick in the 1-1. Swung on and missed. He was way late on a fastball. And DeSanto elevated it a bit there, and it's 1-2. DeCarlo, a junior out of Signal Hill, California, just 5'9", 190 pounds. Was a starter last year at third base. This is his third year as a starter for the Huskies. 1-2. Swung on and skied. Foul out of play right side. He was just 1 for 8 last weekend against USC. His only hit was a triple, but he did walk 4 times. He was really good, though, in the Oregon series. Second to last weekend of the regular season for Washington. He went 5 for 9 against the Ducks. One of the silver linings in that series, a sweep at the hands of Oregon. 5 for 9. 1-2, and here's the pitch to Santos. Got him on strikes as DeCarlo swings and misses. And that out number 1, third strikeout for Ryan DeSanto. As he blows the fastball. I mean, pretty good pitch to hit. Caught a lot of the plate. Elevated it just a bit. And DeSanto strikes out DeCarlo. Say that 3 times fast for out number 1. Brings up Braden Terry now, the left-handed hitting DH. He popped out to shortstop his first time up. Guerrero at first. Soft toss over from DeSanto, and that chases him back to the bag. 52 pitches so far, through 3 1/3 for DeSanto. And Mike Gambino said they're targeting 6 innings for DeSanto today. And the great thing about using him here on this Wednesday, if you do advance to the semifinals or championship, you can bring him back. First pitch to Terry is just off the plate outside. It's incredible what these West Coast schools did this year in their first year in the Big Ten. 4 of the top 5 teams in the league. The new schools from the Pac-12 with the expanded conference. Man at first, 1 out, 1-0. Fastball away. 2 balls, no strikes. DeSanto was really economical early. No longer maybe getting that outside edge as much here from Levy, but also has started to fall behind some hitters. 2-0. And the lefty comes home. Pitch is swung on and ripped, but foul up the first base line. 2-1 here on Terry. Cleanup man in the Washington lineup. Senior out of Bellevue, Washington. Made just 20 starts last year. He's been the Huskies' best hitter in Big Ten play this year with a .308 average and 18 runs batted in, but really struggled to end the regular season. Did not play against Iowa and Oregon to start the month of May, and then was 0 for 11 last weekend against USC. Throw to first and the runner's back. Yeah, how about that? Washington. They ended their regular season at home against Iowa. They did take 2 of 3. Then went to Oregon, got swept, then took 2 of 3 against a really good USC team, playing some of the best in the league at the end of the year. 1 out, man at first, and the pitch. High and tight, 2-1 fastball, spins him out of the way. And it is 3-1 here on Terry. Malachi Knight on deck. And then Colton Bauer should the inning continue. DeSanto bends at the waist. Terry collecting himself for a moment. Taps the bat head against the plate. He's deep in the left-handed box. 3-1. And DeSanto misses down and away. So Terry works the 1-out walk, and runners at first and second now for the Huskies. Guerrero, the first runner to reach scoring position today. And Penn State leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th, but really the first threat of the day for Washington now here against Ryan DeSanto. And again, DeSanto well rested through just 2 innings last Thursday against Xavier. Penn State pieced it together, and they won the game against the Musketeers. First pitch to Malachi Knight. His backdoor breaking ball on the outside edge and called a strike. DeSanto worked just 4 2/3 at Rutgers on the 9th of May. Gave up a grand slam exiting that game with Penn State trailing. Tries to pick off the runner at second, but Guerrero's back safe. He did need 101 pitches in that game. That was one of those starts where he was fighting it that day. Threw 53 strikes out of his 101 pitches. Obviously not a ratio that he was hoping for. But Penn State's been so good in his starts this year, only losing 2 series openers. 0-1, swinging a high fly out to center. Kling's got a beat on it, jogs in, he'll make the catch. And Knight flies out to center for the second time. Now there are 2 outs here. And DeSanto just needs to get Colton Bauer to end this inning with Penn State maintaining a 1-0 lead. Penn State has won all but 3 of DeSanto's starts this year. They're 11-3 in series openers this year, 22-6 their last 2 seasons. So again, that trends well heading into this opening game of the tournament. They won their opening game the last 2 times they've been in the Big Ten tournament. 2 outs for Bauer. First pitch, swings and pops it up. Shallow right. Mercado comes on, shoos everyone away. He makes the catch. That ends the inning, and DeSanto out of it unharmed here in the 4th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We're through 4. Penn State up 1-0 on Washington here in the Big Ten tournament on the Penn State Sports Network.
At PSCCU, we like to think we're pretty unforgettable.
SCPCU.
PQ.
PESU.
Okay, maybe our name's a little hard to remember.
Fuck you!
But the perks at PSCCU are impossible to forget. We're a member-owned digital-first credit union that treats members way better than your average bank.
Oh, that's pretty cool, okay.
So even if you can't remember our name, just don't forget that our members achieve more.
PSECU.
PSECU. PSECU! So why aren't you a member yet?
Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Penn State as the 9 seed in front of 5th-seeded Washington here. Game 1 of Pool D of the Big Ten tournament on this Wednesday afternoon from Charles Schwab Field here in Omaha, Nebraska. So Penn State up 1-0 as we head into the top of the 5th inning. It will be Voss, Cease, and Mercado, 7, 8, and 9 in the Nittany Lion lineup here against Max Banks. Banks has retired the last 7 that he's faced and has not allowed a hit since there was 1 out back in the 1st inning. In fact, that hit was Jesse Jakonski's RBI single to left to score Paxton Kling. Ryan DeSanto worked into and out of trouble in the 4th, worked around a leadoff single and a 1-out walk in that inning. Got Knight and Bauer to pop out to shallow center and then shallow right to end that 4th. They'll get the bottom 3 in the lineup in the 5th, but Penn State hoping to add some more here in this top half of the 5th. Nate Voss at the plate. Takes inside from Max Banks. Big right-hander working with the shift on to the left side behind him here with right-handed hitting Voss at the dish. 1-0. Kicks and delivers. Voss swings and taps it foul back to the backstop. An exciting day for the Penn State lacrosse program today. Women's lacrosse. Kayla Trainer named the new head coach of the Penn State women's lacrosse program. What is an exciting week for the Penn State men's lacrosse team as well. 1-1. Voss takes fastball just off the plate outside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. But Kayla Trainer, the newest member of the Penn State family, coming to Penn State after serving as the head coach at Syracuse the last 4 years, including leading the Orange to a couple of Final Fours. 2-1, swinging a drive high and deep towards the left field corner. If it's fair, it had the distance, but it does. Hook foul. Not by much there. Off the bat of Nate Voss. He hit it into the seats just to the left of the fair foul pole down the left field line as he jumped on a 2-1 offering. And when Voss, man, there's been so many close calls this year. Sometimes he just opens up a little too early. He leads it off here in the visiting 5th. 2-2 from Banks. Swung on and missed. And you got him on the high fastball. Voss down on strikes. Already the 6th strikeout here for Banks. I'll bring up Derek Cease. But Kayla Trainer announced today by Penn State Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Pat Kraft, as the head coach of the Penn State women's lacrosse team. Congratulations to Kayla and her family, a highly decorated player at Syracuse and a highly accomplished coach who was also an assistant at Boston College when Pat Kraft was at BC. 1 out for Derek Cease, who squares the bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike. Meanwhile, the Penn State men's lacrosse team competing on Saturday at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough against Cornell in the national semifinals. as Jeff Tambroni's team had that remarkable 8-goal comeback to knock off Notre Dame. Here's the 0-1. Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Irish, the back-to-back defending national champions. Penn State defeated Notre Dame 14-12 in Annapolis last weekend. They'll face Cornell, the other semifinal, Maryland and Syracuse. Went out the 1-1, swinging a high drive deep towards the gap, left center field. Knight over into the alleyway as time to run it down. The center fielder makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Banks again here in this 5th. So exciting times for the Penn State lacrosse programs. And speaking of that great comeback that the Penn State men's lacrosse team had, Mike Gambino, Penn State baseball head coach, used some of the comebacks that the Penn State athletic programs had throughout the course of the year. He said that his baseball team's going to face adversity at some point here in this tournament. He pointed to women's volleyball, men's hockey, and of course men's lacrosse as examples of how you can approach these postseason games. Cole Mercado up with 2 outs, and the first pitch is in for a strike. 1-0 Penn State, bases empty here again in the 5th. Starting to feel eerily similar to the Big Ten championship game from last year. Just about 13,000 less fans. 0-1, swinging a bouncer back to the mound, and an acrobatic play by Banks. Look what he found, grabbing it on 1 hop down near his shoe tops, and then he throws to first to get Mercado, and that will end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Lions again in the 5th. We're through 4.5, halfway home. 1-0 Penn State here on the Penn State Sports Network.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 5 is proud to continue its support for Penn State athletics. Our members go to work safely every day to build the projects that are constantly increasing in demand. Whether it's watching a game, working from home, or just knowing the lights will come on when you flick the switch, you can be confident that the members of IBEW Local 5 are hard at work behind the scenes. Call us at 412-432-1400 or visit IBEW5.org.
At Milton Hershey School, we believe that talent deserves every opportunity to shine. That's why student athletes, like me, have access to state-of-the-art facilities, experienced coaches, and unmatched resources, with all costs covered. At MHS, we excel in the classroom because teamwork, leadership, and resilience aren't just part of the game, they're building blocks to a brighter future. MHS helps turn potential into achievement on the field and beyond. Learn more at mhskids.org/athletics.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
Penn State leads it 1-0 going to the bottom of the 5th here from Omaha. The opening round of this Big Ten tournament pool play this year. Penn State in Pool D with the 4 and 5 seeds. The 9th seeded Nittany Lions in front of Washington. 1-0, first ever meeting as Big Ten foes here for these two programs. Only other meeting between the two, 102 years ago. Back in 1923, Washington won the game. Completely irrelevant, but won it 8-2. It was a neutral site game. The game occurred so long ago that the site of the game unknown between the two teams. Bottom 3 for Washington here in this 5th. Ryan DeSanto deals, and the first pitch is up high to Jackson Hotchkiss, who flied out to right his first time up. He is now just 5 for 44 against lefties this year. Washington only 1 hit today against DeSanto. The pitch swung on and popped up, back and out of play. And it is 1-1. DeSanto at 63 pitches. Here through 4+ innings of work, allowing 1 hit, no runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 3, also hit a batter. 1-1. The lefty comes home. Hotchkiss takes the fastball high. Washington has done a better job the last few innings at seeing more pitches from DeSanto. And to be honest, he's had some more bad misses that aren't all that competitive of pitches. Not always going to be perfect. 2-1. And Hotchkiss takes down and in. And it is 3-1. Some groans from that Penn State dugout. They felt like that could have been called a strike. So now it's 3-1 here on Hotchkiss. Leading it off here in the 5th. DeSanto fires. Swinging a high pop-up right side foul territory. Joe Jakonski, first baseman, over in foul ground, backpedals, and he makes the catch while backpedaling on the play for out number 1, and Hotchkiss retired. And DeSanto giving Penn State exactly what they need here in this pitcher's duel. As I mentioned, starting to feel like the Big Ten Tournament Championship last year. Penn State lost 2-1 against Nebraska. Penn State scored 1 in the first, threatened for more, just like Penn State did here in the first today. Never got that second run. Nebraska hit a 7th-inning leadoff home run from Josh Caron to tie the game at 1, then had a 2-out double from Swanson to go up 2-1 in the top of the 9th. Missed here, swinging a ground ball past the diving Molinaro and into left for Trevor Cole. He's got a 1-out base hit to left for Washington. And again, the tying run aboard for the Huskies here in the last of the 5th, but the 9-man Blake Wilson coming up. Don't think a bunt is out of the question here for Wilson in the 9 spot. Try to get Cole into scoring position with by far and away the leading hitters in the Washington lineup coming up at the top of the order. Wilson did walk his first time up. Penn State thinking the same here. Molinaro is up. But the other reason I think that game so eerily resembles this, here's a swing and a drive towards the gap left center. Long run Kling back onto the warning track. He has room. He makes the catch, and that's out number 2. And the spacious confines of Charles Schwab Field aid Penn State there. That ball was squared up pretty good by the 9-man. And now there are 2 away with a man at first here in the last of the 5th. Penn State leads it 1-0. But again, what is so eerily similar is Jackson Brockett struggled in the first inning of that game. He ended up going 8 innings, allowing just 4 hits in that 1 run. Nebraska retired the last 11 Penn State batters and 25 of the last 26 in that championship last year. Today, Washington has retired 10 straight and 13 of the last 14. Lions to come to the dish. Back to the top of the order, Taggart. And DeSanto misses down and away. He's had his number today. Taggart's 0 for 2. He has grounded out to first and struck out back in the 3rd. Cole the runner at first here. Last of the 5th. Penn State 1, Washington 0. DeSanto kicks and is 1-0. He is down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield straightaway, fairly deep here with 2 outs, 2-0. There's a strike, fastball on the outside edge. With Mercado in right today and Kling in center, Penn State's got 2 just tremendous defensive outfielders out there. Certainly helps you trying to win a pitcher's duel. Man at first in the 2-1. And Taggart takes down and away. Would not want to see Guerrero come up here with 2 on. He singled against DeSanto the other way to right his last time up. Washington has had just 1 base runner reach second and no base runners reach third. 2 outs. DeSanto steps and tosses to first and the runner back. With that wind picking up, it is shifting around towards right now. You can see DeSanto's blue jersey blowing a bit in the wind. Heavy shift to the pool side. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss, and Taggart, big hack that time. Left the strike zone, it looked like. Chasing a high fastball. Now it is 3-2. With 2 outs, Cole will be off from first. Jakonski does hold him to keep him close on the pool side. Sees a couple of steps onto the outfield grass. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly out right center. Kling into the gap in right center. Plenty of room to make the grab. Makes the catch. And that will end the inning. DeSanto is pitching to the park here as well today. Another fly out for Washington. And he works around the 1-out hit here in this 5th. For Washington, no runs on 1 hit, no errors and 1 left. We are through 5. 1-0 Penn State here on the Penn State Sports Network.
Athletes push boundaries, defy odds, and strive for greatness. At Penn State Health, we share that drive. We tackle medicine's toughest challenges, leading to breakthrough treatments and even cures. Our researchers are passionate and push the limits, like the discovery of a pediatric cancer treatment that led to an FDA-approved drug, drawing patients globally to central Pennsylvania. Penn State Health, driven for you.
Thompson Creek Window Company is an official partner of Penn State Athletics. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install. So you won't pay the middleman markup. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their factory. Save 50% right now during Thompson Creek Window Fest. Buy one window, get one 50% off. Plus special finance options. Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
Top of the sixth here between Penn State and Washington. 1-0 Nittany Lions in front, top of the Penn State lineup. Third time through here against Max Banks, and they need to do something to make him uncomfortable. Just 74 pitches through 5 terrific innings for Banks so far. Penn State got 1 in the first, and that has been it. Banks, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, striking out 6 and walking 2. And again, just those 74 pitches. He's gone as many as 115 pitches this year. That came on the 2nd of May against Iowa. He went 110 pitches in 7 terrific innings of one-run baseball against Illinois back on the 18th of April. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts against the Illini. Illinois gave UCLA everything it could handle in Game 1 today, but Illinois' season comes to an end after an 8-6 win by UCLA. First pitch in for a called strike to Joe Jakonski. Joe Jakonski, Paxton Kling, Bryce Molinaro, 1, 2, and 3 for Penn State here in the visiting 6th. Back and forth game between those two teams had some really controversial calls out on the diamond. And the 0-1 is outside the left-handed hitting first baseman. Jakonski struck out his first time out at the plate today and then popped out in foul territory back in the third to the third baseman, in fact, Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right-hander Banks comes home, and Jakonski takes a breaking ball down in the dirt. I'll say this, though. They have done a good job against that pitch. Washington had bullpen action back in the first, and now again, Huskies starting to get some players stretching out in their left field bullpen here in the 6th. It's 2-1 on the Nittany Lion leadoff man. Banks rocks, kicks, and comes home. And Jakonski swings and rips it through the right side. It's a base hit into right. And Joe Jakonski with a leadoff single here in the 6th sets the table for Penn State's big sticks in the lineup. And Jakonski snaps a streak of 10 in a row, retired by Washington's right-hander Max Banks. Again, this is a guy that can give plenty of innings, throw a ton of pitches, but in this game you do have to win to extend your season for both of these teams. So it's not about, well, we need to get 8 out of him because you need to set up your bullpen for the rest of the weekend. Washington does have a really good bullpen, but I'd like to see him out of this game. Paxton Kling up, and the first pitch is in for a fastball strike. Paxton singled to left and scored back in the first. He's also lined out to first today. That whole right side is open, with Taggart holding Jakonski at first. Throw to first, and Jakonski scoots back in. No tag from Taggart. This is a big spot here for Paxton Kling. If Penn State's best hitter can pass the baton, they will be in business here in the 6th and may knock Banks out of this game. 0-1, swinging a high fly foul to the first base side, out of play. But Paxton quickly down, 0-2. Again, the LSU transfer joining Penn State this year. First team All Big Ten selection now. A hit in 12 straight games. This is a big at-bat for Kling. See what he can do down, no balls and 2 strikes. Need to lay off that breaking ball from Banks. Typically does not elevate his fastball. Let's see. Throw to first. Jakonski's back. Big Taggart over there holding him. This feels like Penn State's chance here in this 6th to extend a 1-0 lead with Jakonski aboard with a leadoff hit and their best batters looming here in the inning. Molinaro on deck. And then Jesse Jakonski, who's driven in the game's only run. Another throw to first. Jakonski's barely off the bag. So he is back with 1 step. Kling bending the knees in the right-handed box. The 0-2 swung on and slam foul back. You got a fastball to hit there in an 0-2 count. Pretty surprised that he just challenged him with that heater. Maybe trying to catch him a bit by surprise. Just gaudy offensive numbers this year for Kling. Stretch in the 0-2. Swinging a chopper to the left side. Diving the third baseman Wilson off his glove. It ricochets into left. Jaconski goes for third. Kling to second. He's there. And Paxton Kling with his second hit of the day, and with excellent base running by Joe Jaconski and Paxton Kling, runners on second and third and nobody out here in this sixth. Just heads up base running by Kling to take extra 90 feet. Very aggressive out of the box. Wilson, the third baseman, dove to his left, unable to make the play, and then to make matters worse there for Washington, went off his mitt and bounced the opposite direction that the left fielder Guerrero was charging, into left center. And Penn State now second and third and nobody out for Bryce Molinaro. See how they want to pitch to him with first base unoccupied. Banks out of the stretch, kicks. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and tight. Well, the way Penn State has this set up and the way DeSanto has carved up the Washington lineup, you can get 3-4 runs. Might be enough here today. Banks pulls the glove tight to his chest. He's set. 1 ball, no strike. Second and third, nobody out. The righty delivers. Molinaro swings and chops it foul at the plate. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Molinaro, the monster tournament here last year, one of the heroes in Penn State's Cinderella run all the way to the championship game. Bryce has come on down the stretch here in his redshirt sophomore season. He has put up some big numbers all year, but he's starting to lay off some bad pitches here. 1-1. Swung on and drilled in the air center field. Back goes Knight, still going back. Knight onto the warning track, reaches up. He made the catch, crashing into the fence. Jaconski tags and scores. Kling coming around the bases as well from second. He slides, he's safe. Paxton Kling just scored from second base on a sacrifice fly from Bryce Molinaro to play a pair of Penn State runs. Paxton Kling, he is the fastest man that Penn State has ever had on the bases. What a play by Kling to score from second, and it is a 3-0 Penn State lead as he came in with a head-first slide ahead of the relay and the tag from Bauer. How did he just score from second on a sac fly to the fence at center? He scored from first base last week, and it looks like Washington will challenge the call here. And the call is going to be challenged by Washington at the plate. He scored from first base on a single to center last week. We talked about his base running pregame, and they're checking to see if the runners looking first here at the catch. Both runners were back on the base when Knight made the catch. I love the aggression there from Jake Palamaki as well, the third base coach. The throw went in towards third, and then Kling slid in. He is clearly safe. This should all stand. It should be a 3-0 Penn State lead. He is the Flash. I mean, he is just the man out there on the bases. There's no other way to put it. Paxton Kling scored from second base, and it's 3-0 Penn State. And Molinaro will pick up a pair of RBIs on the play on a sac fly to center. Not to mention that he just turned what would have been typically either a diving play or a single into a double to get himself into scoring position there as well. That is remarkable. Here's the official ruling after the challenge. And he is safe. And wow, Paxton Kling, that is remarkable. That is remarkable. He just scored from second base on a fly. I know it's 408 out there, but still, heads-up base running, aggressive base running. I think he's the fastest man to ever wear a Penn State baseball uniform. And I'm not sure it's close. He is a different level player than, I'll be honest, and we've seen some really good ones. Here is Jesse Jaconski now with 1 out, squares the bunt, tries to pull it back, but the pitch hit his bat, and it's a strike. But it's 3-0 Penn State here in the top of the sixth on what is just a spectacular base running play by Paxton Kling. Molinaro crushed that ball, too. For that not to get out with the wind, it is stunning. Knight made a great running catch. So Joe Jakonski and Paxton Kling score on the Molinaro deep flyout. Now Jesse Jakonski swings at the 0-1, pops it up shallow center this time. Knight in will be a much easier play. Battling the sun, makes the grab. And Jesse Jakonski retired for out number 2. Again, the way this game's going, I'm not sure you're going to need more than that. If DeSanto can remain economical, Penn State does have some stirring in its bullpen. I'm sure as we head to the 6th and this third time through the Washington lineup that it'll be a tight leash here for DeSanto. Again, stirring in the Washington bullpen as well as Weingartner's up. He's 0 for 2. 2 outs, base is empty. But Penn State a pair of runs in the 6th and a 3-0 Penn State lead. The pitch. Breaking ball high and tight. Penn State has had some really great players in recent years, in fact. Adam Cecere last year, I think, and I'm talking offensive players amongst the group. Matt Wood, Sean Deegan, Jordan Steranka. The pitch swung on, fouled away. It's 1-1. 2 outs, they're empty. Penn State 2 across here in the 6th to open up a 3-0 lead. But I don't know that anyone has ever looked the part as much as, and I'm not trying to place too high of expectations on the guy, but I don't think anyone's ever looked the part of big league player like Paxton Kling has, as Ryan Weingartner hits one high in the air, deep to right. Hutchkins going back, still going back. He's at the wall, he's out of room, it's gone! Ryan Weingartner with a solo shot the other way to right, and it is a 4-0 Penn State lead! Caught it deep in the zone and shot it the other way, deep to right. Ryan Weingartner with his 11th home run of the year, and Penn State a 3-run crooked number here in the 6th. And they have a 4-0 lead, bidding for the upset of Washington. And there is, so now you have it, all the elements coming together for the Penn State baseball team. The speed and the power. Out to the mound goes Bauer. And let's see if that is the end of the day for Banks. Said that wind has shifted around a bit as well. He hit that ball high into the air, and it was just into the 3rd row to the left of the bullpen, where it kind of notches back in a bit out there to straightaway right. Exit velocity was only 96 miles per hour on a 360, and I say only, but compared to some of the balls Penn State's hit out this year, as now it's ripped foul by Matt Maloney on the ground. Typically, I think that this ballpark holds that one from Weingartner, but with the wind blowing to right now, that carried out a 3-run inning, and Penn State in front 4-0 on Washington. And the pitch swung on and grounded foul again. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And Penn State with a 4-0 lead now on Washington, trying to end the Huskies season. And their big bats have come through. And it all started with Joe Jakonski getting on here to start this 6th. 3rd time through against Banks, 0-2. Outside of Matt Maloney. Matt has struck out and grounded out to second today. But this is what this team can do. Their speed, their power, and this offense. They are aggressive, they are fast, and then you couple that up with them hitting home runs, makes them really dangerous. 1-2. Maloney swings and misses at the high fastball. He's down on strikes. That ends the inning, but the damage is done. Penn State 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. No errors, nobody left. Penn State 4, Washington nothing through 5.5 here on the Penn State Sports Network.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Shield. Official partner of Penn State Athletics.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
Penn State felt really good about this matchup with Washington. They felt with their offense and Ryan DeSanto on the mound, and a team that has struggled mightily against left-handed pitching this year, that this is a very favorable matchup for them should they play clean baseball here. And now they are truly in the driver's seat, leading the Huskies 4-0 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Here in Pool D of this Big Ten tournament, need to go 2-0. Unless you're USC, need to go 2-0 to reach the Big Ten tournament semifinals. Here's the good thing for Penn State, too. It's a real easy schedule, and I know times can change with weather and delays like we had today a little bit because the first game ran long. Every game for Penn State in this tournament should be at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, should they beat the Huskies and the Trojans. A.J. Guerrero gets us started here in the 6th. DeSanto deals fastball strike. He can go right at these Huskies hitters now here. DeSanto, 5 innings of shutout baseball, allowing just 2 hits, 2 walks, and striking out 3. That was pitch 76 for the junior lefty. Penn State does have Diamond loosely stretching in the bullpen. And the pitch is swung on and fouled away off the end of the bat. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes. Penn State 4-3 combined in its last 2 trips to the Big Ten tournament. Nittany Lions, with their win against Iowa in 2022, is actually their first win since 2008, but now they're getting accustomed to this here. And the 0-2 is up and away. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here for the 3rd time in 4 years and looking for another Cinderella run. Someone's got to do it, right? Why not Penn State? 1-2. Guerrero takes up and away. Another tough miss by DeSanto. I do think, and this is nitpicking because he's been terrific today, sometimes his misses are not great misses. 4-0. Lions in front, last of the 6th. DeSanto ready. And the pitch. Just missed inside the fastball. Penn State dugout really wanted that one. Levy's been pretty good back there behind the plate, but has not really given that edge. Need to get Guerrero here to start the inning. Here is the payoff from the southpaw. Swinging a ball that's ripped on the ground through the left side. It's a base hit. And Guerrero has his 2nd hit of the day. He has 2 of the 3 Washington hits here against DeSanto. He's a leadoff base runner again in the 6th. He led off the 4th with a single to right. They have not had a runner advance past 2nd. He, in fact, is the only runner to reach 2nd base today. Part of this pitcher's duel that Ryan DeSanto right now has the upper hand in. So far, a well-played postseason baseball game. Penn State 1 in the 1st, then 3 in the 6th. 2 on a sac fly to center. Yes, 2 runs scored on a sac fly to center as Paxton Kling turned on the afterburners and scored from 2nd base on a Molinaro sac fly. Weingartner added another run on a solo shot to right there in the 6th. Again, should be a pretty short leash, though, here for DeSanto. Can't give it right back and give momentum back in the bottom of the 6th. Falls behind DiCarlo, comes back, and misses down low again. 2 balls, no strikes. I don't think loosely has thrown yet down there in the Penn State pen. Saw Anthony Steele milling about as well. 2-0. Artie out of the stretch, delivers. Swing and a miss. Swing through a changeup, it looked like, on a 2-0 pitch. And the count 2-1. Sees the 2nd baseman right up the middle. DeSanto holds at the chest, kicks, and is 2-1. Swung on and missed. Chase a high fastball. Fastball is only upper 80s for DeSanto. That one 86, but he hides the ball well. He's got a big frame. Can really get on these hitters quick, and he uses a pretty good mix of pitches. Guerrero at first, nobody out. 4-0 Penn State, bottom of the 6th. Here comes the 2-2. Down and in. Missed with the fastball. And the count is full here on Sam DiCarlo, the 3-man in the Washington lineup. DeSanto bends at the waist. Shortstop Weingartner pumps his fist into his mitt behind him. Here's the payoff. Swinging a chopper up the third base line. It's Skitter's foul. Should Penn State win this game, they would just need to beat USC tomorrow. A 3 Eastern start as of now, but there are rumblings that forecast for Friday here could change the start times of tomorrow's game. They may try to squeeze 4 games in tomorrow. They would just need to beat USC tomorrow. Those 2 teams would be squaring off to go to the semis. Need to take care of business here first against a Washington team that won't go quietly. Here's the payoff, and he missed. A little in with the fastball, and DiCarlo works the walk. Back-to-back base runners to start the 6th for Washington. After Penn State got 3 in the top of the 6th. And let's see if that prompts a mound visit. Not yet. In fact, surprising to see. Loosely still just stretching. I don't think he is thrown down there in the Penn State bullpen. Right now he is tying his shoes beyond the right field fence. And DeSanto in some trouble here in the 6th. Just the 2nd time today a runner has reached second. The pitch high and tight to Braden Terry. Terry, the cleanup man, batting at .326 on the year. And he is one of the few Washington hitters, despite being a left-handed hitter, that has had success against left-handed pitching. They're shaded around a bit towards left in the outfield, and the 1-0 is bunted, and bunted fouls. He tried to drag bunt his way on. Not so sure about that decision here in a 4-0 game. Molinaro was playing up. If he's going to bunt, he'd have to bunt it to the right side. Jakonski way back, not holding the runner. Cease and Weingartner at double play depth, the middle infielders. Guerrero, the runner at second, to Carlo at first. 4-0 Penn State, last of the 6th here in Omaha. DeSanto the stretch. Looks to second, is 1-1. Is upstairs. That was pitch number 91 for Ryan DeSanto. Best threat of the day for Washington. Nobody out. 2-on. 2-1. Swung on and slam foul straight back. 2-2. Penn State riding Ryan DeSanto right now. Appears down at his wrist, has his sign. Toes the rubber, working from the first base side. Big southpaw bends at the waist, ready to go. Kicks in the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded back up the middle, should be 2. Weingartner's got it, races to second for 1. Fires to first, in time, double play! Took it himself for the double play. And Penn State with a big double play. Guerrero does reach third. He's the first Washington base runner to reach third, but they'll easily take the 2 outs here, and DeSanto battles back, induces a double play ball and a soft grounder up the middle off the bat of Braden Terry. And just like that, there are 2 away here in the inning, and Penn State continuing to trust Ryan DeSanto in big spots. Now Mike Gambino, Penn State head coach, going out with Malachi Knight up, who's flat out twice to center. That may be it. Loosely is throwing now in the Penn State bullpen. I know he threw a little before, and that is going to be it for DeSanto. So he does his job. He gets Penn State through 5 2/3 today. And Diamond Loosely comes on in replace of Ryan DeSanto. 93 pitches, shutout baseball, allowing just 3 hits here today. Ryan DeSanto with his teammates out of the first base dugout applauding. And the Penn State fans that are here are on their feet, giving him a standing ovation, and one much deserved. He has Penn State up 4-0. And he gets Penn State through 5 2/3. There's a little math game to it as well. If you start to stretch him out over 100 pitches, then you might not be able to bring him back for a semifinal or a championship. So you're playing the short game. You have to win, but you also have to think you need to win the entire tournament to reach a regional again this year for Penn State. Loosely on out of the bullpen. His numbers when we come back. Penn State 4, Washington 0. Huskies with a runner at third and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th on the Penn State Sports Network.
Looking for the perfect place to stay when cheering on the Nittany Lions? Look no further than Lion Country Lodging, the preferred hotel partner of Penn State Athletics. Enjoy modern comforts, exceptional service, Plus, when you book direct at LionCountryLodging.com, you save big. Whether it's game day or a getaway, Lion Country Lodging is your home in Happy Valley. Book now at LionCountryLodging.com.
At Milton Hershey School, we believe that talent deserves every opportunity to shine. That's why student athletes, like me, have access to state-of-the-art facilities, experienced coaches, and unmatched resources, with all costs covered. At MHS, we excel in the classroom because teamwork, leadership, and resilience aren't just part of the game. They're building blocks to a brighter future. MHS helps turn potential into achievement on the field and beyond. Learn more at mhskids.org/athletics.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
5 2/3 terrific innings today for Ryan DeSanto. Penn State in front 4-0 here as the 9 seed against 5th seeded Washington in the first game of Pod D of this Big Ten tournament here at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. 4 pods of 3 teams. The winner of each pod advances to a single elimination 4-team semifinal. Any team that's not a top seed, 1, 2, 3, and 4 overall in the conference in their pod, must go 2-0. So a must-win for Penn State and Washington. Neither team expected to be an at-large team to the NCAA tournament, so they both have to win for their season here today or risk playing a meaningless game. For Penn State, it would be tomorrow, but they are in command. Diamond Loosely takes over. Ryan DeSanto responsible for Guerrero, the runner, at third. 2 outs here, last of the 6th. Then Malachi Knight at the plate. He's 0 for 2. And Loosely starts him with the slider. It's in for a called strike. Loosely, 4-1 with a 3.81 ERA, making his 20th appearance. 28 and a third innings pitched, 29 hits, 15 runs, a dozen earned. Out of the stretch, the 0-1's on the way. Swung on, fouled straight back, and Diamond's quickly ahead, 0-2. He has struck out 24 while walking 13. Opponents are batting .282 on the year against Diamond Loosely. For Penn State, they'd love to get Loosely in here, get them probably through an inning and a third, and then pass it over to Anthony Steele for the last 6 outs. Runner on third, 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes. Loosely delivers and misses down and away at the breaking ball. Good stop by the catcher. Voss out to his right on the backhand. Logan Olson is slated to get the start against USC tomorrow. If they want as many hands on deck for that game as possible, it will be a high-leverage outing right from the get-go, should they win this game. 1-2 from Loosely. Fastball swung on, popped up off the hands, out of play, first base side and into the seats. Guerrero single to left to start the inning. DiCarlo worked a no-out walk, 2 on and nobody out, but Ryan DeSanto got Braden Terry to ground into a double play. Guerrero, the first Husky to reach third here today. He's there with 2 outs. Loosely the stretch. And the right-hander's 1-2. Swung on and skied on the infield, right near the second base bag. Weingartner backpedals. He makes the catch, and the inning is over, and the shutout still intact here for Penn State. Shortstop put it away. Great work by DeSanto and Loosely to escape the inning unharmed. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left for Washington. We're through 6. Penn State 4, Washington 0 here on the Penn State Sports Network.
If you're an electrical contractor, general contractor, or developer considering who to hire on your next project, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 5 is ready to supply you with the best trained, most qualified, drug-free, and OSHA-compliant electricians and apprentices in the industry. Our code of excellence guarantees it. So for your next electrical project, insist on the team that will make it a winner. Call us at 412-432-1400 or visit ibw5.org.
Pizza just goes better with Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Pizza. Thank you.
But don't take our word for it. In fact, don't take any words for it. Crispy and cheesy, paired with delicious and refreshing. My mouth is watering already. Ooh, too high. Yeah, we've all been there. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
Top of the 7th inning here in this 5-9 matchup in Pool D of the Big Ten tournament. Penn State, the 9 seed, leading 5th-seeded Washington 4-0. Great work by Ryan DeSanto and Diamond Loosely to escape that 6th unharmed. Final line for DeSanto in line for his 8th win. 5 2/3 of shutout baseball, allowing 3 hits, walking 3, striking out 3. 93 pitches today. Not an ungodly high number for DeSanto, which means should Penn State reach the semifinals and or championship game, they will definitely slate DeSanto to come back at some point. First things first, need to close this one out against a really good Washington team that in its first year in the Big Ten finished in 5th place at 17-13. For the top 5 teams in the Big Ten this year, the new teams from the Pac-12. Nate Voss starts. Isaac Yeager on in relief. First team All Big Ten selection. A 6'6", 215-pound junior right-hander. And he misses low to start Nate Voss. Voss 0 for 2. He's flat out to right and struck out. And the pitch. Down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Max Banks, the starter for Washington, goes 6 innings, allows 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 7 while walking 2. Swings the leg, 2-0, swung on and ripped on the ground, foul. Yeager really yanks that front left leg high into the air as he comes to the plate. Waste no time. Someone running down to retrieve the foul ball, wiped out. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase a breaking ball down low. There was a Washington player who went down and hustled down to retrieve the foul ball down the left field line on the warning track, and you could hear the reaction from those here. 2-2 swung on and yanked foul on the ground by Voss. Flirted with a home run his last time up. There's a Washington player who went down to get the baseball, and there's a congregation of young fans right along the railing down the left field line, and he went to make a spectacular play, but he wiped out. Here's the 2-2. Down low, another good take by Voss. Penn State has had some great at-bats here in this game. They're laying off some of the low crap from Washington's pitching staff. Jace Evangelista with a Big Ten tournament memory there for Washington. Payoff. Down low, Voss works the walk. Penn State looks to add some insurance here in this 7th. Now it's the 8-man Derek Cease. Let's see if he's asked to bunt. Like Gambino calls Cole Mercado, who's in the on-deck circle, over to the Penn State dugout. I love watching him coach. He said pregame, look, I don't want to have to manage too much. I just want to sit back and enjoy these guys playing their best baseball at the end of the year. I think he sets them up so well for success. They trust themselves. It's a confident group. He's got his son, Sonny, right in front of him there on the top step of the dugout. Cease does square to bunt, but pulls back and takes outside as Yeager missed away. I think it's fun to watch how encouraging, motivational, how engaged he is. And now Washington with Yeager struggling here, which is stunning to start. Pitching coach Connor Lambert immediately goes out to the mound after the walk of Voss, now falling behind Cease. 1 ball, no strikes. Maybe just to talk some strategy here with Penn State preparing to bunt. I said Yeager, I don't think it gave his numbers. First team All Big Ten this year, 4-1 with a 3.66 ERA. 7 saves. This is team leading 24th appearance. 46 2/3 innings pitched. 40 hits, 20 runs, 19 earned. He has struck out 57 while walking just 20, and opponents hitting only .233 against Yeager this year. He has hit 9 batters. This is just a really, really small sample size. I will say he does look like an emotional pitcher out there on the mound. Pretty quick mound conference. Big righty out of the stretch. 1-0 to Cease. He squares. He bunts. He bunts it off the plate. Foul. Leadoff walk here in the top of the 7th. Penn State leads Washington 4-0. Fans score before the game even starts with Wise Markets, the official grocer of Penn State Athletics. Wise Markets, eat better, spend less. That's Wise. He squares again. Third baseman crashes, bunts it back up the first baseline. Yeager's got it. Tosses underhand to first to retire Cease. Derek with a successful sacrifice. It goes 1-3. Voss into scoring position. With one out here in the inning for Cole Mercado. And let's see if his conversation with Mike Gambino pays off here. Also, for every Nittany Lion crushing it on the field, there's a pack of fans electrifying the stands. This season, Highmark Blue Shield is proud to support you both, because life. Voss at second with one out. 4-0 Penn State, top of the seventh. Yeager delivers, and Mercado takes the breaking ball down and in. Top of the lineup, and Joe Jakonski on deck. The last game tonight will be Rutgers and Iowa. That is slated for a 7 Eastern start. 1-0. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Rutgers defeated Indiana 5-2 here yesterday. 4 home runs in the game. Landon Mack had 6 shutout for the Scarlet Knights. So they'll take on Iowa. The winner of that game joins UCLA in the semifinals. The stretch, Yeager's 1-1. Down and in at the shoe tops of the left-handed hitting Mercado. Cole's 0 for 2. He struck out in the second and bounced back to the pitcher in the fifth. Wind has died down a little bit. Still a sun-soaked afternoon. Here on this 21st of May. Great to play meaningful baseball late into May. 2-1 swung on and ripped through the right side. It's a base hit into right for Mercado. Voss gets the green light. Hotchkiss up with it. Throw home is cut off, and then the relay home late. Voss scores on the RBI single for Mercado. And Penn State's aggressive base running again pays off. And it is a 5-0 Penn State lead. I was stunned. Voss did not get a great jump from second base. For whatever reason, he was looking out into right. He didn't take off right away on a ball hit to the right side. Halamaki still sent him, and the throw from Hotchkiss was not good. It was low. It did not have much on it. Still, it may have beaten Mercado to the plate if it was not cut off. And then there clearly wasn't communication between Bauer and the first baseman Taggart. It took him forever to make the relay home, and Voss, who I thought would be out easily, ended up scoring easily on the play. And Penn State, again, its aggression paying off, and it is a 5-0 Nittany Lion lead. And they have gotten some production now from up and down the entirety of this lineup. That is so critical. Joe Jakonski's up now, and he takes down and in. So much for Yeager, first team all Big Ten. Comes right out here, walks one, they bunt him man over, and then Mercado comes up with a big hit against him. I do think, coming into this matchup, and I know some of us around the program talked about it, that I think Penn State was the better team here. It's a team that's had some bad luck this year, on the field and off the field. That's a reason why they're the 9 seed in this tournament. Pitch down low. It's 2 balls and no strikes here on Joe Jakonski. Ripped a single to right his last time up to start the 3-run 6th. 1 in the first, 3 in the 6th, and 1 here in the 7th, and threatening for more. 2-0. And he takes fastball strike on the outside corner. Joe, one of a dozen seniors recognized last Saturday. Mercado's off the pitch, swung on and skied in the air, foul ground right side over Taggart near the Penn State dugout, and he is out of room. It's out of play. I was joking with Joe. I heard who were all the Jakonskis that were in the seats on Saturday. Both he and his brother Jesse had by far and away the loudest cheering section of the year. And he said, well, his mom has 7 siblings. I think she's one of 7, actually, and that the entire family, every year there's 1 or 2 games that all the cousins and aunts and uncles come out, and that game was Saturday. He said he was actually a bit embarrassed by it, but he's had a really good finish to the year as he takes outside, and the count's full. With 1 out, let's see if they start Mercado here. Washington employing the huge shift to the right side now here against Joe Jakonski. Taggart does hold Mercado, the stretch. Yeager's going to snap the throw over. Mercado's back ahead of the tack. has gone about as smoothly as possible for Penn State right now. Up 5-0 here in the 7th, and they got 5 2/3 of shutout baseball from DeSanto. Mercado does go the pitch, swung on and chopped to the right side. They stay out of the double play. Cole gets the nice easy hop to second baseman, throws to first, retires Jakonski. That out number 2. But Mercado into scoring position. Already a run across here on his RBI single in the inning. And now he is at second for Paxton Kling, who has a pair of hits today. Singled off the mitt of the shortstop back in the first and scored, doubled off the mitt of the third baseman. A hustle double his last time up and scored, and they will intentionally walk Paxton Kling for Bryce Molinaro. I'm not sure. I know Kling has been their best with runners in scoring position and has scalded the ball here today. I'm not sure I'm walking anyone to face Bryce Molinaro here in this Big Ten tournament. He had a pair of RBIs. Yes, a pair of RBIs on a sac fly to center his last time up. Kling scored from second on a ball caught at the fence by Knight with his back to the infield. Kling turned on the Jets and scored. Now he is not being held at first here. 2 on, 2 outs. Molinaro up, swings and chops it to third. Nice, easy chest-high hop for Wilson. Sets his feet, throws low to first, and it is picked by Taggart to bail out Washington on the back end. So I guess the decision did pay off this time for the Huskies. For Penn State, another run on 1 hit in the inning. There were no errors, and 2 are left on base. We're through 6.5 stretch time here. Penn State 5, Washington nothing here on the Penn State Sports Network.
Need a place to stop, fuel up, and stretch your legs? Onvo's got you covered. Onvo is proudly serving the drivers of Pennsylvania with the most comfortable and convenient locations to recharge, refuel, and refresh. On your way to a big Penn State game? Stop at Onvo, the official travel plaza partner of Penn State Athletics, and save 20 cents per gallon on your first fill-up when you download the Onvo app. Onvo, where Penn State fans fuel up.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Shield. Official partner of Penn State Athletics.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network. Presented by PepsiCo.
The Family Clothesline is your source for all your family's Penn State needs. From t-shirts and hoodies to jerseys and souvenirs, we have the largest selection of Penn State merchandise. Visit us at 352 East College Avenue in the heart of State College. Can't make it in? Check out all the gear at PennStateClothes.com. Penn State 5, Washington nothing, heading to the last of the 7th. Diamond loosely in the game for Penn State. He will get Bauer, Hotchkiss, and Cole. 6, 7, and 8 for Washington. Let's first pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Penn State Sports Network. Brian Tripp, great to be with you back here at Omaha. Penn State here, third time 4 years, looking for another upset in game number 1. Colton Bauer starts here against Loosely. Gets him to swing and miss to start the at-bat. Bauer, the right-handed hitting catcher, hit by a pitch in the second. Flat out to right in the fourth. Loosely came on with a man on third and 2 outs in the sixth to get the final out of the inning. 5 2/3 shutout today for DeSanto, who got the start. And the 0-1 is down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. 9 outs to get for Penn State, but up until this point, could not have gone any more perfectly. They shift Bauer to the left side, sees the second baseman just to the left of second. Pitch swung on and ripped past Molinaro, diving into foul ground. He nearly made the play, hugging the line on a liner that's foul, and a souvenir for some of those young kids down the left field line. Really a gorgeous day for baseball. Temperatures in the upper 60s here. If you're in the sun, feels pretty good. Wind has died down a bit. Very pleasant compared to what we normally experience here. 1 and 2, Loosely fires. Inside, he hit Bauer with the pitch. Hit him on the front elbow. He was up 1-2, and he hit him with the pitch. Penn State, some wiggle room now in a 5-0 game, but with Washington's season on the line, they'll be coming with the kitchen sink here. There is some light throwing going on in the Penn State bullpen. Anthony Steele is throwing a football to begin to loosen up his left arm. Mike Gambino might be asking here for a challenge as the umpires get together. Bauer did elevate his front elbow towards the baseball. He had the elbow protector on it, and it might be worth a shot here for Penn State. I don't know that it was intentional, but it might be worth a shot. Yeah, they're going to check to see if Bauer put his arm into the pitch. They might get that call. It was not a strike, but they might get the call as he started to, the pitch was inside, but as he started, it looked like he was starting his swing, but because he was starting his swing, his front elbow does come up. You can see immediately, Voss, the catcher, said something to Kellen Levy. You get 2 challenges, and here you are in the 7th. You don't want to start a Washington rally. I don't mind this challenge. I think this is a good challenge by Mike Gambino. I think this is always such a difficult play to review, though. And intent really not a part of it because you're looking at what the arm motion did, and even though it really should be more a part of it. Pretty quick review from our Big Ten crew. And here is the call. Yeah. There was no intent, so the ruling stands. Bauer hit by the pitch, and he is at first. That brings up Jackson Hotchkiss, the 7-man in the Washington lineup. Huskies, by the way, today wearing their white tops with purple pinstripes. Purple script Huskies across the front of the jersey outlined in gold with purple numerals on the back. Loosely delivers to Hotchkiss, starts him with a called strike. 5-0 Penn State, runner on first here, bottom of the 7th. It's the 3rd time in 4 innings Washington has had the leadoff man aboard. Loosely 0-1, and it's down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The shadows, to make matters worse here for Washington, the shadows from the light stanchions and the stands on the first base side are creeping out towards the plate. Stretch Loosely. Holds, delivers a 1-1. Swing and a miss. He just blew a high fastball right on by Hotchkiss. And it's 1-2. Hotchkiss is flat out to right and popped out and foul ground to the first baseman. Loosely ready. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a chopper towards third. Molinaro picks it on the backhand, but he'll only have 1 play. With his momentum coming to the plate, he'll fire to first and get Hotchkiss for out number 1. That was a terrific play by Molinaro on nifty glove work on an in-between hop charging. With his momentum coming towards the plate. And Penn State now starting to count outs here already. No reason to take a chance at second. It was a great pick, and he throws out Hotchkiss by a step for the first out of the inning. Bauer into scoring position now with 1 away for the 8-man Trevor Cole. Loosely looks to second, comes home, and he misses up high to the right-handed hitting second baseman. Cole 1 for 2 today. He did single to left his last time up, one of just 3 hits allowed by Ryan DeSanto, the starter. And the 1-0 is low from Loosely. 2 balls, no strikes. Diamond Loosely's got one of the great baseball names. I think Penn State's got a couple of great baseball names. Loosely ready, and on second, 1 out. All right, he comes home. 2-0 fastballs cut on and missed. Cole really late on that heater from Loosely. Cole now with a modest 4-game hitting streak, 4 hits in his last 12 at-bats. A native of Boca Raton, Florida, who transferred in from Florida Gulf Coast. 2-1. Loosely to the plate. Swung on and fouled away at the plate. It's weird to see a guy from Florida on Washington. 24 of the players on the Washington roster from the state. 14 from California. 1 from Arizona, 1 from Florida, 1 from Massachusetts, and 1 from Canada. That is it. Man on second, 1 out, 2-2. Loosely delivers. Swinging a foul tip back. Cole just got a piece of the high heater to stay alive. I think they had to shrink down the conference logos to squeeze all 12 teams' logos up on the wall and left. 2-2. And that is in there for a called strike 3. Got him looking at the breaking ball. And loosely strikes out Cole for out number 2. That brings up the 9-man Blake Wilson, who has walked and flied out to center today. Right now it is all Penn State. Scored 1 in the first on an RBI single by Jesse Jakonski. Then Washington's starter Max Banks retired 13 to the next 14 before Penn State struck for 3 in the 6th, including 2 on a sac fly from Molinaro. Paxton Kling scored from second on a sac fly. Weingartner added a solo home run in the inning. And Penn State added 1 more in the 7th on an RBI single from Cole Mercado to score Nate Voss. First pitch is out of the zone here to Blake Wilson, the 9-man. So a 5-0 Penn State lead. Bauer, the runner, on second. Hit by a pitch to start the inning. And the 1-0 swung on and fouled back off the front row of seats here in the second deck. Just got him reaching at that slider that time. But this has gone as great, knock on wood for Micah, whatever this is, as great as could be to this point for Penn State. 1-1, down and away from Loosely. Bauer taking an extended secondary lead out there off second. Penn State needs just 7 more outs. Does look like they will go with Steele here after Loosely. Out of the stretch, Diamond kicks the 2-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner and called a strike. And it's 2-2. Washington today 0 for 4. They have not had many opportunities, but 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Bauer at second, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Loosely ready. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him on the high fastball, and he strikes out Cole and Wilson back-to-back to end the inning. And works around the leadoff base runner here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We are through 7. Penn State is cooking again here in Omaha. 5-0. Nittany Lions in front here on the Penn State Sports Network.
24/7, get the gear at PennStateClothes.com.
Gear up for Penn State football at the Family Clothesline in State College. We've got it all for fall, including officially licensed Penn State clothing and merchandise from Lululemon, Nike, and more. Extended store hours on home football weekends. Shop PennStateClothes.com and get free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. We are
the Family Clothesline.
The Penn State Department of Intercollegiate Athletics would like to recognize the Nittany Lions' official All-American corporate partners. Highmark, Because Life, Penn State Health, the official healthcare provider of Penn State Athletics. Pepsi Zero, never tasted so good. Try it to believe it. PSECU members achieve more. Wise Markets, the official grocer of Penn State Athletics and West Shore Home, official window replacement partner of Penn State Athletics. Thanks to our All-American corporate partners for your support of Penn State Athletics and helping us create a lifetime of impact for all of our student athletes. Here it is a 5-0 Penn State lead going into the top of the 8th. Penn State, the 9 seed, looking to eliminate 5 seed Washington. Washington still would play USC on Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, but that game rendered meaningless. The winner of Penn State and USC, should Penn State hang on here, would go to the semifinals. That's scheduled for 3 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Jesse Jakonski here against the new pitcher, Josh Emanuels, and the first pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike. Jesse, an RBI single back in the first to start the scoring. Penn State has scored in each of the last 2 innings after what was a pitcher's duel through the first 5. And the 0-1, fastball strike from Emanuels. And quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Even more impressive, Penn State doing this today against Banks, a second-team All Big Ten selection who went 6 innings, allowing 4 runs. And then I was not impressed with Yeager in his inning of work, allowing an insurance run. Jakonski is swinging a miss at the 0-2 and chases the breaking ball down in the zone. And Emanuels makes quick work of Jesse Jakonski. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Emanuels, the yin and yang with Isaac Yeager in the Husky bullpen. He's been great all year as well. 2-1 with a 3.96 ERA. Appearance number 21, also has 3 saves himself. 38 2/3 innings pitched, 33 hits, just 17 earned runs, 38 strikeouts, and 13 walks. Right-hander now works to Ryan Weingartner, who homered last time up. First pitch, fastball inside. Ryan got one a little deep in the zone, showed his opposite field power, hitting it high into the air. I know the wind really was gusting to right, as it is again here, but he went the other way for his 11th home run of the year. Penn State, 5 players with 10 or more home runs this season for the first time in program history. 1 out there empty, the 1-0. And Weingartner takes a breaking ball high. 5 2/3 shutout baseball for Ryan DeSanto today. Transferred in from St. Joe's. His former collegiate teammate and now current collegiate teammate Ryan Weingartner at the plate, who also transferred in from St. Joseph's. 2 balls and no strikes. Emanuels leans back, kicks the leg, comes home. Swung on, and that slam foul straight back beneath our booth. DeSanto now, in his last 2 postseason appearances, has worked 14 2/3 innings of shutout baseball, striking out 15, dating back to his A10 start last year in the A10 tournament. 1 out there empty. 5-0 Lions. Here's the 2-1. And Weingartner takes up and away. What a nice tandem this has been to add to the Penn State arsenal this year. We'll see. Both expect to be drafted, but may have decisions to make. We'll see if they both get picked and see if either is back next year for Penn State. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly again, deep to right. Hotchkiss back at the wall. Backpedals against the fence and has room to make the catch. Nearly deja vu there, right to the same spot, just to the left of the bullpen, where it notches back out. Weingartner this time just feet away from homering. He's retired for a loud and long out number 2. Brings up Matt Maloney now with 2 outs. Anthony Steele appears ready to pitch the 8th. He'll get 1, 2, and 3 in the Washington lineup. Penn State will start Logan Olson tomorrow. Pitch to Maloney, back to miss. And then Mike Gambino will have really a full stat at his disposal. Ian will joust to mix and match and make their way through it. After Olson, Ben DeMel, Matthew Van Ostenbridge, and Chase Renner would be the arms to expect first tomorrow. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's a USC team that will be playing its first game of the tournament. Penn State took 1 of 3 against the Trojans earlier this year. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Maloney swings and skies it foul out of play. Up onto the top deck on the third base side. You would expect that Katie Naoki would get the ball for USC tomorrow. Gave Penn State fits earlier this year, pitching in the Saturday game against the Lions. As USC rallied to win the series with wins on Saturday and Sunday. 1-2. And Maloney takes down and away. Matt 0 for 3 today, has struck out a couple of times after starting last weekend 8 for 10 against Xavier. He was 0 for his last 5. Playing him the other way a bit in the outfield here with 2 outs and the bases empty and Penn State at 5. 2-2. Maloney takes fastball away. And he works the count full. Ethan Hedges, first team All Big Ten, and a two-way player for USC. Part of what is a really good Trojan offense as well. Got to get at least the last 6 outs here first. Here's the payoff. Swung on, popped up. Third base side, long run, foul ground. Wilson ranging back, veering towards the tarp, and he angles back and makes the catch. Lost his hat in the process. Great grab by Wilson, who had to go a long way for that. In fact, down the left field line into foul ground, and that will end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 8th. Penn State turned away here in this 8th, but leading it 5-0, heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Anthony Steele comes on out of the Penn State bullpen when we come back here on the Penn State Sports Network.
You know how you explode with excitement when the Nittany Lions score? The feeling is incredible. I'm Montica from Confers Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's like that for her when she sees your gift from Confers Jewelers. Her breath almost stops. The clock winds down as she unwraps it. It's the final play of the game. She opens it, sees her new diamond, and jumps in your arms. You did it! Confers Jewelers in Bellefonte. The feeling is incredible.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network. Presented by PepsiCo.
Anthony Steele into the game for Penn State here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 9th-seeded Penn State looking to knock off 5th-seeded Washington and set up a winner-take-all matchup with USC tomorrow in Pool D here in this Big Ten tournament in this new pool format this year. Penn State leads Washington 5-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. Top of the Washington lineup here, and now the third Penn State pitcher of the day is Anthony Steele. 0-1 with a 3.41 ERA, making appearance number 25. Anthony does have a pair of saves this year. 37 innings pitched, 34 hits, 20 runs, 14 of those earned. He has struck out 46 while walking 22 opponents, hitting just .234 against the 6'4 senior lefty out of Shelton, Connecticut. So Steele on here. He'll get the top of the lineup, a Washington team that has been woeful against left-handed pitching this year. And you have to credit Mike Gambino and his staff again. They have these guys ready to go. The belief, the confidence, the swagger they play with when they get to this ballpark. We've seen it consecutive years now. And really, it's a program that expects to be here at this point. Bino talked about that a bit with me pregame in our extended pregame today, that they don't talk about this as Omaha, like, oh, we got to get to Omaha for the Big Ten tournament. Their long-term goal is to be here for a College World Series. And this was a group that had regional potential for part of the year, and then just with injuries and a few things going sideways, kind of fell off that mark, but still a really good year in year 2 for Mike Gambino. Kason Taggart starts, first pitch high from Anthony Steele. And then you look at the injuries to their staff in particular. Skip Chinaski, Mason Horwat, Matt Marash, who's got great stuff. Logan Olson, DeSanto himself have all. Renner has dealt with injuries. Everyone pretty much has at some point. Fastball strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Some afternoon clouds roll in here. A little chilly with that breeze. Here's the 1-1 to Taggart. Swinging a line drive into center. It's a base hit. Leadoff man on again for Washington here in this 8th, but so far has not hurt Penn State. Third straight inning and 4 of the last 5, but the Huskies have pushed just 1 to third and have had just 3 runners reach second base here today. That brings up A.J. Guerrero. There is some wiggle room for Anthony Steele. No action yet in that Penn State bullpen, nor would you expect there to be. The relievers that are down there in the bullpen, most of the staff and most of the rosters here in the dugout, but the guys down to the bullpen as the first pitch is a fastball strike to Guerrero. Guerrero 2 for 3 today, has 2 of the 4 Husky hits. Are Renner and Van Ostenbridge are the Penn State's pitchers down in the bullpen just in case. Jakonski holds the runner at first, Steele out of the stretch, kicks and delivers. And Guerrero takes the cutter low. Good blocked by Voss. Really been a pretty good day for Voss behind the plate. Has not had to do too much back there. Penn State has nullified this Washington running game by playing with the lead today as well, not just with the lefties on the mound. Steals 1-1. Swinging a high fly deep into the right field corner. Mercado back at the wall, and it is gone. A.J. Guerrero goes the other way for his 42nd career home run. It ties him for the all-time program career record. And Washington is on the board with a pair of runs here on the 2-run shot to start this 8th, and it is 5-2. Guerrero, 3 of the 5 Washington hits today. That snaps the shutout that Penn State had going, and now all of a sudden a 3-run game. As he shot it the other way into the right field corner, and we'll see if Penn State gets Renner ready. Sam DiCarlo up now. I would say probably not yet. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Starting with a cutter over the outer third. It's going to be Matthew Van Ostenbridge off with the jacket, and he'll start throwing just in case. Again, you have to win this game. We can have that age-old debate. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Steele has his command. I don't know that there's really any reason for concern here against Anthony. Really, the only time you get concerned is if he loses his command. And you got a guy who's got a lot of pop, took him deep. But he's ahead 0-2 on DiCarlo and fires. And went to that rare curveball, slipped out of his hands and missed badly outside. But in that instance there, look, Penn State's still up 3. Bases are empty. Yeah, there's nobody out, but needing just 6 more outs. And obviously, you take the runs when you can get them. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that slam foul straight back. Look out. Out of play. 1-2 here on DiCarlo. But it does feel like a bit of a rally-killing type home run, right? There's always that age-old debate, like, is a home run the best? Or if Washington would load up the bases against Steele, it may add a little more leverage. 1-2. And down and away. Just again at that curveball. And it's 2-2 here on DiCarlo. I'll say this. The Washington lineup past night does not really threaten you. So Penn State is in great shape, even though a couple of runs score on the home run with the top 2 in the lineup getting on. Here's the 2-2. Up and away. And Steele now flexing that left hand. Paces off the side of the rubber. Needs to get DiCarlo, though, here to prevent momentum from accumulating again. Here is the payoff. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the high fastball. DiCarlo down on strikes. That feels like a big out for Anthony Steele. And let's see if that stymies anything Washington started to cook up. Brings up Braden Terry, the left-handed hitting DH, who is 0 for 2, did walk back in the 4th, but grounded into a critical double play. The last batter to face DeSanto today, back in the 6th, with the first 2 reaching with nobody out. 5-2 Penn State, bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and it's down and away. 2 schools separated by 2,600 miles, now playing in the same conference, meeting here in Omaha to start the Big Ten tournament. Steals 1-0. Swung on and chopped up the first baseline foul. You don't teach math and you don't teach geography through college athletics in particular. An 18-team Big Ten conference. California is 2-0 in the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament after another stunner today. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly out to center. Pretty much right at Paxton Kling. A couple of steps to his right. He'll make the catch. That's out number 2. Terry caught reaching at that pitch. Steele located it well down and away and Just kind of flung it out there off the end of the bat. He's retired. 2 quick outs now for Steele after the home run, and now Malachi Knight comes up. He's 0 for 3, has popped out 3 times today, twice to Steele and once to Weingartner, the shortstop. Again, the schedule right now is 3 o'clock tomorrow. Penn State and USC in a critical game. Should Penn State win it? Knight up there swinging, fouls the first one off the end of the bat. Steele has really settled back in. It's still Van Ostenbridge throwing in the Penn State bullpen, but not sure they need to have him keep throwing right now. 2 outs, they are empty, 5-2 Penn State. And the pitch swung on and ripped down the left field line. It is hooking towards the corner and just foul off the bat of Knight. And Anthony now ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Bauer on deck. Should Steele get Knight, he would work to 6, 7, and 8 in the 9th. Penn State has 7, 8, 9 coming up top of the 9th as they look for some more insurance. What was a 1-0 game for the longest time, then a 5-0 game until Washington scored 2 on the home run here in the inning. Here's the 0-2, up and away. Taggart single to center to start the frame, then Guerrero launched a 2-run bomb the other way into the right field corner. 335 down that right field line, then 375 deep into the alley and deep right center. 1-2. Swinging a drive on a line towards the gap left center and down for a base hit. Jakonski scoops it up. Knight is aboard for the first time today. He's a 2-out base runner for Colton Bauer. Then it notches out to 408 in straightaway center here before sweeping back around to 375 in left center. And then juts back into 335 down the line to left. But it is notoriously a big, big ballpark. Located here in the entertainment district of Omaha. Yes, there is an entertainment district in Omaha. It's a very cool place. Colton Bauer up now has been hit a couple of times today. He's 0 for 1. Throw to first, and the runner standing on the bag. Watch that runner at first here. Knight has great speed. Shifts on to the left side, seats up the middle. The second baseman, Steele delivers. Swinging a chopper out to short. Weingartner, nice easy chest tie hop, sets the feet, throws low, but a great pick. On the backhand at first again by Joe Jakonski, who's played Gold Glove first base here over the last 2 months. That ends the inning. Bauer chops out to short, and Steele escapes the inning with no further damage after the home run. 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning. No errors and 1 left on base. We're through 8. It's 5-2 Penn State here on the Penn State Sports Network.
Thompson Creek Window Company is an official partner of Penn State Athletics. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install. So you won't pay the middleman markup. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price. Direct from their factory. Save 50% right now during Thompson Creek Window Fest. Buy 1 window, get one 50% off. Plus special finance options. Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Home sweet Thompson Creek. 24/7, get the gear at PennStateClothes.com.
Gear up for Penn State football at the Family Clothesline in State College. We've got it all for fall, including officially licensed Penn State clothing and merchandise from Lululemon, Nike, and more. Extended store hours on home football weekends. Shop PennStateClothes.com and get free shipping on all orders of $50 or more. We are
the Family Clothesline.
Top of the 9th inning here from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. Penn State baseball back in the Big Ten tournament for the 3rd time in 4 years, and for the 3rd time in 4 years looking to win their opening game. Nate Voss, Derek Cease, Cole Mercado here against Josh Emanuels into his 2nd inning of work for Washington. Emanuels worked a 1-2-3-8. Penn State won in the 1st on an RBI single by Jesse Jakonski, and then got 3 in the 6th on what was some fantastic baseball. Jakonski and Kling reached to start the inning. They were on 2nd and 3rd. Bryce Molinaro flied out to the track in straightaway center, Paxton Kling turned on the afterburners and scored from second on a 2-run sac fly from Molinaro. Weingartner added a home run. Insurance run on a Mercado single back in the 7th, and a 5-2 Nittany Lion lead as Nate Voss takes inside here to start this 9th. Washington did score a pair of runs on a 2-run home run off Anthony Steele in the 8th. Out of the stretch, Emanuels with that. He leans back as he comes home, and the 1-0 is swung on and fouled back down underneath us. It caromed off the railing up here into the second deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. Man, Penn State can get through this again. It sets up a huge game tomorrow to try to get back to the Big Ten tournament semis, and really proves that this team is in the upper half of the league as the 1-1 fastball runs back over the outer third. It's called the strike. And I think the way they're trending, the upper echelon of Big Ten teams, you just talk to anyone who's kind of covered college baseball, in particular the Big Ten, and they go, wow, you guys are heading in the right direction. 4 outfielders now here with Voss at the plate, and the pitch is swung on and missed. And he is down on strikes. Voss retired as they took the second baseman Cole and put him out in deep right. And Voss down on strikes for out number 1. Not seen that really before here. They had just 2 infielders to the left of second. Recognizing what Voss's tendencies are. Talk about playing the metrics there. Here is Derek Cease now. He takes a slider in for a strike. Cease having a good day today. Walked in the second, but was picked off first, then flied out to center in the 5th, and had a sac bunt to advance Voss into scoring position, and then he scored last time up. Voss scoring, that is. 1 out, they're empty in the 0-1. It is on the inside corner, and it's called a strike. No balls and 2 strikes here on Derek Cease. Penn State up 5-2 here, top of the 9th. The lights flicker on here at Charles Schwab Field. The kick in the 0-2. Swung on and laced foul. Out of play to the right side. Fans are going to race after that baseball. Very aggressive. The right-hander, Emanuels, with the purple long sleeves on underneath the white pinstripe jersey. In the 0-2. There's a breaking ball inside to Derek Cease. Yeah, I think if you look at, obviously the West Coast teams changed the complexion of the conference greatly. UCLA and Oregon both competing to be regional host teams. Oregon might be a top 8 national seed and in line to host a Super. 1-2. Cease swings and slams it foul back. Another good AB from Derek Cease. But if you take Penn State and take the West Coast teams out of the picture, so you're looking at Iowa, Michigan, Indiana, Penn State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Illinois, Michigan State, the Big Ten teams from, I don't want to say the original league, but the league we're more familiar with. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Emanuels here in this 9th. I think Penn State, out of any, might have the best long-term outlook. Certainly Michigan in that conversation, Iowa, with the year they had this year, and Rick Keller has that going, and Nebraska has put together a late-season surge, but there is no doubt Penn State is now an upper-tier team in the Big Ten, and doing it here on this stage, should they get 3 more outs, certainly helps that conversation again. They are a force to be reckoned with. And doing it a little depleted today without Jack Porter and Cole Wagner. Porter out for the year, and Wagner, they think they'd probably get back for a regional. First pitch in for a strike to Cole Mercado. 2 outs, base is empty. Now an overcast Wednesday evening. And the 0-1 outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, back with you tomorrow, regardless of the result here. Penn State and USC, just the implications of that game would change based on the result here. For a 3 o'clock Eastern start, we're with you at 2:50. Breaking ball in for a called strike, and it's 1-2. Mercado 1 for 3 today, had an RBI single back in the 7th. To plate Voss. Van Ostenbridge still throwing like he's coming into this game. We shall see. 1-2. Backdoor breaking ball called strike 3. Emmanuel strikes out the side in order here in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 8.5. 5-2. Penn State in front. Matthew Van Ostenbridge coming on out of the Penn State bullpen, looking for his first career save. 5-2 Penn State, leading Washington here on the Penn State Sports Network.
O'Reilly.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Athletes push boundaries, defy odds, and strive for greatness. At Penn State Health, we share that drive. We tackle medicine's toughest challenges, leading to breakthrough treatments and even cures. Our researchers are passionate and push the limits, like the discovery of a pediatric cancer treatment that led to an FDA-approved drug, drawing patients globally to central Pennsylvania. Penn State Health, driven for you.
You're listening to Penn State Baseball on the Penn State Sports Network, presented by PepsiCo.
Matthew Van Ostenbridge into this game for the last 3 outs here in this first Big Ten tournament game. His first ever postseason appearance as a freshman lefty. He's 2-0 with a 3.89 ERA. 22nd appearance, does have a couple of starts. 39 and a third innings pitched, 35 hits, 20 runs, 17 of those earned. He has struck out 37 while walking just 13, and opponents are hitting .230 on the year against the freshman lefty Matthew Van Ostenbridge. Freshman out of Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, 5'10", 190. Won't overpower anyone, but man, does he believe in his stuff. And he has been incredibly effective this year for Penn State. He gets 7.89. What this also does is probably makes Anthony Steele available for tomorrow. He went 1 inning, allowed 3 hits. 2 runs on the home run by Guerrero, the only 2 runs today for Washington. Did not walk a batter and struck out 1. He threw 21 pitches. Any issues here for Matty V, and Chase Renner is throwing a football to start his warm-up routine in the bullpen. First pitch, bunted back in front of the plate. Van Ostenbridge off the mound, hurries, pivots, and fires. It's a dart, and in time, he got him at first to get Hotchkiss to start the inning. What a play by Van Ostenbridge. Now Washington, with its season on the line on a bang-bang play, will challenge the call. But Hotchkiss thrown out by Van Ostenbridge, who whipped a fastball to first. And it looked like in time, and the initial call in time here to start the inning. Get a look at the replay. It is a Washington challenge. And, ooh, that is really, really close. I thought he got him initially. It is bang, bang, as Hotchkiss made one last giant stretch to first with his left foot, running at the green extension of first base. I don't see anything initially there to overturn the call. I have not seen the replay go up on the video board here. Watching Jakonski's mitt as the foot comes down. It is in the mitt. He's out. Yep, he's out. He is definitely out. The call will be confirmed here. The call will be confirmed. And that will be a big first out for Matthew Van Ostenbridge. The runner, Hotchkiss, still standing at first base. Still surprised they're looking at it this long. I thought it was pretty clear. Looking at the angle we got from Big Ten Network here in the booth. Hotchkiss is still at first. And waiting to see the umpires emerge. Penn State leading by 3. Not the only critical ruling today. How about the tush-push ban? All for naught from 22 NFL teams. Needed 24 to ban the tush-push, but tush-push is back to the delight of this Eagles fan. Here's the official call and the ruling. Yep, the runner is out at first base. And what a play by Matthew Van Ostenbridge. And Washington is out of timeouts. And there's another close call here. What a play by Matty V for the first out of this ninth. Penn State 2 outs away from setting up a date with USC tomorrow for a berth in the semifinals. It is a quirky tournament format, and it will render some games meaningless. The reason they want to still have those games, Trevor Cole up, tries to check the swing, but he offered at the breaking ball in the dirt from Van Ostenbridge. The reason they want to have those games, and 3 lefty pitchers today, no surprise for Penn State against this lineup that struggled against left-handed pitching this year. But they figure those games could still have importance for RPI. So say, for instance, as the pitch is down and away, say, for instance, Indiana was a bubble team and had lost to Rutgers, well, they could still bolster their RPI by beating Iowa. And the pitch just off the plate away. Voss tried to bring it back. And it's 2-1. 1 out, they're empty, last of the ninth. Penn State up 5-2. So that's why they still think this format could have some staying powers. The 2-1 is line to right at Cole Mercado. He's got it as he catches it up near the bill of his cap, and that's out number 2. And Penn State 1 out away from again winning its first game here at the Big Ten tournament for the third time in 4 years. And Blake Wilson at the plate for Washington. Again, Washington will still play USC on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. But one more Penn State out, and that game does not matter. 2 outs, Wilson takes outside from the lefty Van Ostenbridge. He is the 9-man in the lineup. Walked in the 3rd and flied out to center in the 5th and struck out in the 7th. What a well-played game by Penn State. 1-0. Outside. 2 balls in, no strikes. Paxton Kling using his speed to score from second on a sac fly from Bryce Molinaro to center to score 2. Broke it open. Here's the pitch. And there, a fastball strike. A home run from Weingartner today. Cole Mercado and Jesse Jaconski RBI singles. And terrific work by Ryan DeSanto. 5 2/3 of shutout to start. Then loosely went in inning and a third of shutout baseball. Steele gave Penn State an inning, and now Van Ostenbridge 1 out away. 2-1. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on a changeup. Had him way out in front. And he comes back from 2-0 to make it 2-2. Penn State dugout ready to erupt down there. Matt Van Ostenbridge 1 strike away from his first career save. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Cease on the backhand out in shallow center. Throws to first as he scooped it up, but late. And Wilson legs it out for an infield hit. 9-man aboard. And now the top of the Washington lineup coming up here. Kaysen Taggart. Do not want to see Guerrero again. Keep him in that on-deck circle. He would represent the potential tying run here in the 9th. Already going deep to right today. And the owner of a program record for Washington, 42 career home runs. If it gets to Guerrero, I would think Penn State will go to Renner, who is throwing down in the bullpen. But it's Taggart, the left-handed hitter here, who singled and scored on that home run back in the 8th here against Van Ostenbridge. The pitch. And Matty misses upstairs. Again, he does not overpower you, but can be effective after working ahead with his fastball. Just a real crafty lefty. Bends at the waist, man on first, 2 outs. Penn State by 3 here in the 9th. Runner goes, doesn't matter, and the pitch is down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Guerrero is on deck. Do not want to see Guerrero. 2 balls, no strikes. Last out. Really, with the team season on the line, the toughest to get. 2-0. There's a strike. Came back with the fastball right down the middle. And it's 2-1. 2 outs, and Wilson now at second, so the only force is at first. Shift is on to the right side. Cease out into shallow right. Jaconski holds the line. 2-1. High and tight, runner goes, but no one's covering third. So Wilson to third now. And it is 3-1. But the guy you worry about is Guerrero on deck. Homered his last time up. 3-1. Van Ostenbridge kicks. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled away. Third base side, out of play. And again, he has Washington down to its last strike. Van Ostenbridge peers in. Gets his sign. Penn State fans on their feet clapping in unison. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Van Ostenbridge deals and missed high. Missed with the fastball, walks Taggart, and that, I would think, will force Mike Gambino to go to the bullpen and bring on Chase Renner. They're getting a little deeper into that bullpen than they had hoped here after 5 2/3 shutout from DeSanto. Big spot here to ask Van Ostenbridge, who's been amazing, for one last out. But I think they're going to lean on the freshman here against Guerrero. I mean, why not? Look at the lefty-righty splits. Although he did take the southpaw steal deep his last time up. He is the potential tying run in Washington's season on the line. Here, 2 outs, the first pitch. Swung on and slam, foul out of play. First base side. Guerrero has one thing on his mind right here, and that is a home run. He has 9 now this year. He's batting at .342 for Washington, the most dangerous hitter in the Husky lineup. On the corners, 2 outs, tying run at the dish. The 0-1's on the way, and it is down and away. Did not miss by much. Taggart scampers to second on a defensive indifference. Runners on second and third, but the guy at the plate, the one that counts, the 1-1, swung on and fouled back. And again, Washington down to its final strike. Straight away, incredibly deep in the outfield. Cease, the second baseman, up the middle. Weingartner looking down at his belt. He's at short. Molinaro hugs the line to the pull side. Now Weingartner a step or two to his right. Van Ostenbridge bends at the waist, needing one more strike. Here is the 1-2. Swung on and cued off the end of the bat. It rolls foul up the first base side. Tense moments here. Did not think it would get this tight here in the 9th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Van Ostenbridge paces off the back of the mound. Tugs on the bill of his cap. Looks down at his right wrist. Has the ball in his left hand as he toes the rubber. 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. 1-2 flies. Swung on and grounded towards the hole at short. Weingartner dives. He's to his feet. He throws to first, but it is late. Guerrero beats it out. It scores a run. Wilson scores. It's 5-3. Taggart to third, and Guerrero safe with his 4th hit of the day. He has driven in all 3 Washington runs, and now the potential winning run comes to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. They lift Guerrero for a pinch runner. And now representing the tying run at first is Cooper Witten. And Sam DiCarlo is at the plate. Mike Gambino is jogging out of the first base dugout. Renner is ready. He has not signaled to the bullpen yet. On the corners, 2 outs, 3 straight have reached after 2 quick outs here in the inning for Van Ostenbridge, and has had each of the last 3 Washington batters down to their final strike. Renner's ready. They have not made the move yet. DiCarlo 0 for 4 today, and like many has struggled against left-handed pitching. They are sticking with the freshman. They are sticking with freshman Matthew Van Ostenbridge. Here to get the final out. Has been so close here in the game, but Washington has stayed alive, and now Washington will use an offensive timeout. Eddie Smith, their first-year head coach, who is known for his offensive acumen, calls the Washington base runners and batters, and the base coaches, everyone for Washington, huddling up on the third base side as Van Ostenbridge is just pacing around on the infield. Real tense moments here late. Winning runs at the plate, tying runs aboard. A game Penn State it's really had a firm grasp on since the very beginning. Penn State, 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 4 left. Washington, 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 9 left. Penn State is unable to get this final out. It would be a crushing defeat. The wind is blowing out. 3-man Sam DiCarlo up. 0 for 3 with a walk today. He has 8 home runs on the year and 23 runs batted in. Not a big dude, but got some pop. 286 hitter. Has been really good in clutch spots for Washington all year. And he is what now stands between Penn State and a date with USC for a berth in the semis on the line tomorrow. 2 outs the first pitch. Tried to check his swing. He offered at the breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Voss to keep Witten, the pinch runner at first, out of scoring position. Because he represents the potential tying run, Jakonski holds him. He's the only infielder to the right side, and he is holding the runner. Big shift to the left side. Here's the 0-1. Swung on in the line to short and caught by Weingartner. It's over, and Penn State knocks off 5th-seeded Washington 5-3, and the Nittany Lions will take on USC tomorrow for a berth in the Big Ten Tournament semifinals. For the 3rd time in 4 years, Penn State comes to the Big Ten Tournament and pulls off a Game 1 upset, and the Nittany Lions win this do-or-die game by a 5-3 final over Washington. For Penn State, 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 4 left, 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 9 left for Washington. Ryan DeSanto goes 5 2/3 of shutout baseball to pick up his 8th win, and Matthew Van Ostenbridge, his first career save in a critical spot here in the Big Ten Tournament. Penn State basically wire to wire in command, even though Washington threatened putting the potential tying run on and the winning run at the plate there in the 9th. About as you sure would have loved to avoid the adventure late, but about as good as you could imagine here today to take this game against Washington. And Penn State will play another do-or-die game tomorrow with Southern California for a berth in the Big Ten Tournament semifinals, the top seed here in Pool D of this Big Ten Tournament. So Penn State wins it 5-3. And here you go. A team that made a Cinderella run last year at least is starting to fit their foot into the slipper again here in 2025. What a game. Well-played game. Penn State opportunistic and then holds on at the end to knock Washington out of the Big Ten Tournament. 5-3, Penn State wins it. We'll continue with the recap when we come back postgame here on the Penn State Sports Network.
You know how you explode with excitement when the Nittany Lions score? The feeling is incredible. I'm Montica from Compers Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's like that for her when she sees your gift from Compers Jewelers. Her breath almost stops. The clock winds down as she unwraps it. It's the final play of the game. She opens it, sees her new diamond, and jumps in your arms. You did it! Compers Jewelers in Bellefonte. The feeling is incredible.
Looking for the perfect place to stay when cheering on the Nittany Lions? Look no further than Lion Country Lodging, the preferred hotel partner of Penn State Athletics. Enjoy modern comforts, exceptional service, plus when you book direct at lioncountrylodging.com, you save big. Whether it's game day or a getaway, Lion Country Lodging is your home in Happy Valley. Book now at lioncountrylodging.com.
Light Beer, St. Louis.